de fantastische ondersteuning van het elftal. Bedankt voor de fantastische ondersteuning van het elftal.
A little bit of they're starting to feel that they're Premier League players because they're not running together, they're not pressing in packs, they're going individually. At Birmingham City for the first 10 minutes have had nothing but their own play and their own ball.
Damari Gray's cross on the right, only half away by Johnson. Baker steered it forward, Asai Samuel in the area, blocked off a sea of red shirts surrounding. Ipswich are not hanging on, but they are on the back foot in the game. Birmingham 0, Ipswich 0, as St Andrews roars the home team forward again. Ipswich try to break through Ogbeni, who was excellent in the Premier League in the early part of last season before getting injured. It's big for Kieran McKenna to have him back, and Ipswich are, I think they feel, 1 or 2 players short in 1 or 2 areas, but he will be a regular no doubt this season as they aim to push for an instant return to the Premier League.
But this team will go as far as its spine does, this Birmingham City team. They've got a wonderful 2 in midfield in Peake and Iwata. For me, they're 2 guys that can not only play at this level but can go again. They're so good, so talented, but they need to control games, especially away from home. But you're seeing it today, they're just dominating, and Ipswich can't keep the ball. And it's basically an Ipswich, to paint the picture, Ipswich are camped in with 6 players defensively, a 4 and a 2 in their own half, and kind of pressing with the front 3 and allowing Smodic to just run anywhere, but there's no connection between the lines, and Birmingham City are just so much better, so much more controlled. But they do need a goal, I feel, to go with this pressure, or at least, and really carve out a great opportunity.
A shove in the back by Hurst on Iwata. Referee, was he thinking about a yellow card? He hasn't produced one just yet. Free kick to Birmingham in the centre circle.
If that foul happens in 45 minutes time, that's a yellow card.
I mean, maybe he's thinking, Andy Kitchen, that he's got to try and calm it down a bit, because if as you know, Troy, if he starts giving yellow cards 13 and a half minutes into the game, then again he's held himself to that for the rest of it.
100%, but he's made this rod for his own back when he gave that first foul to Hurst, but it was nothing in it. And what he's done now is allow for it to be a soft game. The Championship is always renowned for being a little bit more physical, and you would allow it a little bit more in terms of, it's the first game of the season, let's see what happens. But it just seems that we're close to 10 fouls already in the first 13 minutes. We've at some point you're going to have to book somebody, or at least have a word.
And back it goes to Clara for Birmingham as they win another free kick in front of the halfway line. We're sat right behind the 2 dugouts here in the back of the main stand. Good diagonal ball from the goalkeeper, Allsop out to the left-hand side. Johnson on Anderson, and Birmingham look again to the referee, as do plenty of the home fans at St Andrews, but nothing is given.
That is pathetic. At the highest order, that should be a yellow card to Johnson. Look, we're just watching a replay now.
Tell us what happened, Sean.
As it comes back here, he heads it up in the air, and he literally gets a fingernail on his back, goes down, screams, and gets a yellow card. It's embarrassing. And again, young referees, you've got to try and protect them. But if they're not to the standard, don't give them the big games.
And this is up there with the biggest games of the first few weeks of the campaign. And you need the strongest referees for these sorts of matches. It is still early days, and it is a difficult job, as we know. Foul by Johnson on Anderson in the Birmingham left-back position, and the crowd are roaring their disapproval, really, at the referee's every move at this point.
Again, rinse, repeat, isn't it? Everything's a little tackle, go down, and they keep giving it. I just think when you look at the game, it's become scrappy because Ipswich are making it scrappy. They don't want to get into a footballing match with Birmingham City. They clearly feel that they're not at that level yet with the team and the squad that they have. But you would have to start to say now that it doesn't look great if you are an Ipswich fan saying we were just in the Premier League, we've not got no control of the game, we don't know what our star players are going to be next year. It looks like a lot of work coming for Ipswich. Again, we're only 15 minutes in, maybe they've got to weather the storm, but it doesn't look good for now.
The former Premier League striker Troy Deeney is with us tonight, former Birmingham City captain, of course. Troy, as Ipswich tried to take the goal kick short, I think Stansfield had encroached into the penalty area, so he's called them back here, the referee, making sure that Kyogo and Stansfield are outside the box before the goal kick is taken. It's actually going to be taken by Greaves, back to his goalkeeper, and now O'Shea. Ipswich build from left to right. O'Shea gets a shove in the back from Stansfield, just letting him know he's there. Ipswich give it away over halfway, but the referee spotted another foul, this time on Ogbeni, And not on Smodics, I don't think. He kept his feet on. Benny thought he was caught. It's a free kick to Ipswich, shy of halfway. It is very, very stop-start this first 16.5 minutes. Birmingham 0, Ipswich 0. And it's a shame because these are two good sides who we think should be up there come the end of the season. Now, Matus Siva goes in on halfway. I think it's getting quite niggly, Troy, as well. Ipswich up over the halfway line, towards the inside right. Cochrane tucks it out of play for a throw.
Yeah, it is getting niggly because there's a frustration for Birmingham that they can't get a rhythm and the way it's going. And I'm just going to say it now, he has that feeling where you think Ipswich will score with their first attack. He does get that feeling. I'm just looking down at the stats. 12 fouls already in the first 16 minutes. 23% possession for Ipswich. It has been all Birmingham City, but now they have a corner, and you can just feel that they're probably going to score with this first attack. Yeah,
it is a corner, not a throw. Davis will come across to take it. Got a really good left foot and really effective in the Championship, as we've seen before. Plenty forward in red for Ipswich Town. Lots of height in the penalty area. Davis hoists in the corner, headed away by Clara. Firm towards the edge of the penalty area. Now Birmingham look to break with Asai Samuel. Beaten to it on the far side of the field by Jack Taylor, ever tenacious, and he has ended up off the pitch, nearly in the advertising hoardings, caught by Asai Samuel, and now they head towards each other, grapple onto each other, and the referee's got a big flashpoint to deal with here. Taylor and Asai Samuel threatening to go head-to-head. He's stepped back and he's watching events unfold here. Andy Kitchen, the referee. There are probably 7 or 8 players from both sides embroiled in a mini melee on the far side. It's settling down now, but Andy Kitchen could not have believed the referee less than 19 minutes into the new campaign that he would have had as difficult and as challenging a start as this. It's 0-0.
It's actually silly from Samuel to get involved because Taylor goes back to him to initiate it. What's happening now with Ipswich is you're getting a team that are starting to try and old man this young Birmingham City team. They're making fouls, they're making it scrappy, and now the referee's booked both of them, so both get a yellow card. Again, for me, that's poor management from the referee. If you're going to give a yellow card for that, there should have been 4 more yellows by the way this game's gone. But I think it's got to a point now where Ipswich have realised they can't beat this Birmingham City team the way they want to, so they're going to make it scrappy, they're going to make it ugly, and they're going to try and get after this Birmingham team by set pieces and counter-attacks. So expect more of this, more grafting, more niggly tackles, and it's on Birmingham now to keep their cool.
Both players yellow carded, Asai Samuel and Taylor. Flicked by Hurst down the middle for Ipswich. Smodics could be in. Good work by Neumann. Coming across on the cover, the new centre-half nudges it away from Smodics, who's been so deadly in the Championship in the past.
Yeah, and you know what? He got lucky there because the tackle from Clara has actually slowed him up, which meant that Neumann could get back. I do worry, I said at the top of the show about these two centre-halves. That's just a long ball up. Neither of them go for the header from Hurst. It's a straight flick on, and they just don't have the pace to move their feet. If Smodics doesn't slip there, he's got a one-on-one, and Birmingham will be in trouble.
Here with TalkSport, Birmingham 0, Ipswich 0. The first night of the new Championship campaign. Free kick to Birmingham, edge of their own box. Wrexham at Southampton. Tomorrow lunchtime live on TalkSport. Same time on 2. Coventry against Hull, followed by West Brom against Blackburn, and then Sheffield United against Bristol City. We're the only place on national radio to hear live Championship football. The Community Shield will have for you on Sunday. Crystal Palace play Liverpool at Wembley. We've got the League Cup on Tuesday and Wednesday next week, and Tottenham against Spurs in the Super Cup on Wednesday evening on TalkSport. Thomas Frank's first game in charge, and then this time next week the Premier League is back as well. We'll be at Anfield on TalkSport for the opener, Liverpool against Bournemouth. What a season in prospect. More than 500 live games across the network. Clara for Birmingham, edge of his own box. We haven't had really a clear-cut chance in the game so far. There was the disallowed goal from Kyogo, very controversial, but that aside, neither goalkeeper's been tested. Birmingham away down the left. Stansfield raiding infield into a central area. Good reverse ball. Kyogo from the angle has rolled it wide. Didn't really get a clean strike at it, and that'll be a goal kick, still goalless.
But you can see the connection between Jay Stansfield and Kyogo. Stansfield comes on his left-hand side, starts driving at O'Shea, O'Shea cuts inside onto his right foot. I actually thought it was an opportunity for him to get a shot away 30 yards out, but instead reverses it. Kyojo makes a lovely little run into the box, and I like that he got his shot off the first time without looking, but didn't really connect with it, but just shows the intent from the two. Also had Damari Gray making it into the box as well there for some extra bodies, but he got his shot off near post. But Ipswich are just slowing the play down at every opportunity, aren't they?
And the Birmingham fans at the Tilton Road end getting increasingly frustrated. The ball has bounced down to Stansfield on the edge of the area, and he slipped at the vital moment. That allowed O'Shea to scoop the ball clear high towards the halfway line. Birmingham lose it on halfway. Smodics has poked it wide left to Leif Davis, and now forward to Jack Clark on the overlap. Across came Neumann again. Neumann and Clara must be the biggest centre-half partnership in the Championship. 6'4", 6'3", and they are a sturdy proposition, but they've got to defend a long throw that's going to come on that far side, the Ipswich left.
Yeah, I agree with that, but the worrying side there is that young Clark got the better of him from a physical shoulder to shoulder. I expect Newman to put him straight in the stand at that point, if I'm being honest.
And maybe there's a vulnerability in behind. Long throw to the penalty area by Davis. Clara and Neumann both go up for it. One of them got the touch to nudge it away from the immediate vicinity of the penalty area. Then it's hooked further downfield by Asai Samuel. Birmingham 0, Ipswich 0. As Asai Samuel retreats, had to be careful with the challenge on Smodics, who whips it across. A good ball to the back post, but nobody there in a red shirt to meet it. Ipswich, who struggled for goals last season in their ill-fated Premier League campaign. Kieran McKenna frustrated, but they've won it back through Taylor. Now to Smodics with a snapshot close to the edge of the D. That is charged down and blocked. Matthew Seaver, the Dutchman, on his debut. Good header out to the left, and Davis midway inside the Birmingham half. Taylor cannot shrug aside the very lively Damari Gray. And Birmingham have got it back again with great authority. A brilliant home record under Chris Davis. Not lost at home Birmingham City in the league since April 2024. It's a remarkable run of form. And Fortress St Andrews, so far, not so bad. Halfway through the first half, Birmingham 0, Ipswich 0.
But I think there as well, you saw the vulnerabilities that Birmingham have. In League One, when they turned the ball over, they were able to go again and nick the ball back. You do that against the top teams in the Championship, and especially in the Premier League where they want to get to, and you get found out. I think it's really interesting to see how both coaches have come at this. Chris Davis has got this Birmingham City team playing.
Oh, the goalkeeper's given it away! Smodics has fired it wide! Nearly a dreadful mistake from Ryan Alsop, the Birmingham goalkeeper, and he gets away with it. Smodics from the edge of the penalty area has fizzed it actually quite a way wide of goal. He should do better. It's still 0-0. It's a big let-off for Birmingham's goalkeeper.
And that's why they went out and got a young goalkeeper from Brighton, because that pass has been telegraphed. It's not even got enough pace to get there. Sammy Smodics, for me, hits the wrong shot there. He goes with his laces to try and fire it across. He's just got to pass it into the near post. But it's really poor for Birmingham. Again, it's an area that I've been concerned about with the goalkeeper. I was just about to say, they've been so deliberate with their build-up, and that's really good coaching. But when they get it a little bit wrong, they're so exposed and so open. So they have to be more or less perfect to get out, and when they do, it looks good. But if the keeper makes mistakes like that, they're going to be in trouble.
It's going to be fascinating to see how that race for the #1 shirt unfolds at Birmingham this season, as they come forward down the inside left with Keshi Anderson. Back to Paik, a long way out, thought about a shot, angles the ball wide to the near side, and Anderson again in a one-on-one situation with Johnson. Low crosses headed away at the near post by Matthew Seaver. Now it's come back to the near side, the left, infield from Cochrane, chipped over the top by Paik, headed away on the cover by O'Shea, but now Stansfield threatening to win it back on the edge of the box. It's hacked upfield, high into the sky by Johnson. The sun is still yet to set here at St Andrews, though the floodlights are on. Warm evening. Hurst trying to reach a bouncing ball. It's stabbed away by Neumann. It is quite a scrappy game, but it's got all the energy and all the electricity that you'd expect from the Championship. 26 minutes in, 0-0.
Yeah, it's got scrappy, but I say the energy is there. It's just that little bit of quality from both in that final third. I think the build-up has been fantastic for Birmingham. Ipswich will be happy with their shape, but it's that final bit of quality, and maybe it's going to take someone to put it in the top corner.
Hurst with a deflection on the reverse ball towards Smodics. It nearly ran for the former Blackburn man, the diminutive number 10. It's cleared away by Clara upfield for Birmingham City, and Ipswich have it back on the halfway line with Johnson standing right in front of Kieran McKenna.
That sums it up perfectly as well there with Hurst. He's probably take a touch, get your shot off. He scored 3 or 4 goals in pre-season, should be confident. Instead tries to play a pass that's probably not his game. And again, that lack of quality of Birmingham get the ball back.
It feels like that is an area, Troy, that Ipswich are going to look at before the end of the window, that number 9 position.
Absolutely, and again, we're just watching Hurst here. He's just covered in at the left side. If it was me and I'd scored the goals in pre-season, and I know the team are looking at trying to get another striker in, I would absolutely make sure that I'm in the middle of the box. I'm getting my shots off as many times as I can. It wouldn't be about being a good team player right now. It'd be about getting a goal and letting everybody know I could be the man that scores the goals for you this season.
He scored against Auxerre, did Hurst, in the final pre-season friendly for Ipswich last weekend. Here is Cochrane for Birmingham, formerly of Hearts. Squared to Clara on halfway. Ipswich have got everybody back behind the ball in red. Everybody is inside their own half. Chris Davis trying to encourage his Birmingham players to keep the tempo high. Amazing record that he's got, the LMA manager of the year last season. High ball up to Kyogo, who nearly plucked that out of the air. What a good first touch that looked to be. O'Shea in the way to nudge it clear of danger. For now, Birmingham throw level with the edge of the penalty area. Another flash of quality from the very exciting Kyogo. Down on the right-hand side is Gray again, forced towards the corner flag by Taylor and Clark. Clark for Ipswich has won a throw in his own left-back position. What about Kyogo so far? Former Birmingham number 9, Troy Deeney.
No, he looks really lively, running into great positions. It was just interesting watching Chris Davis down in front of us. He's gone straight to the analyst team saying, clip that, clip that. What happened in that build-up? It goes to the centre half, and Leif Davis jumps early onto Damari Gray, and it made the back four go really spread, really stretched. And because they did that, Kyogo just ran through the middle, and it was a lovely little ball. Unfortunately, his second touch hit his knee and it went through to the centre-backs, but that's clearly something that they've identified, that the full-backs like to jump, and when they do jump, there's a ball straight through the middle, and they can go and hurt this Ipswich back line.
Had an incredible goal-scoring record at Celtic. Didn't score at Rennes in just a few months in France as it was, but already feels like a promising pickup in the Championship for Birmingham, as Ipswich win it back through Davis, and he'll calmly roll it all the way back to goalkeeper Palmer in lime green. Alex Palmer, who was a mid-season signing from West Brom, as Johnson chips the ball high down the right-hand side. Ogbeni for Ipswich, looking to raid down this near side touchline. Cochrane heads it out of play, thought it had already got out of play. It's an Ipswich throw, level with the edge of the penalty area, as we still await the first goal of the new Championship season. In a game actually of few chances, it's felt quite cagey at times. Johnson's throw into the box, flicked on by Ogbeni, and actually I think he's given a foul throw here, the referee. You don't often see that, so Birmingham will have the ball back. 0-0 the score. Let's go to Stamford Bridge. Chelsea against Bayer Leverkusen. Will Hobbs.
Chelsea 1, Leverkusen 0. 18-year-old new boy Esteban with the only goal on 21 minutes, and he should have had a second just after the hour, but he dragged wide from 12 yards after a scything run from Jamie Gittins off the bench. Esteban the star man. Chelsea 1, Leverkusen 0, 74 minutes gone.
That is another of the pre-season friendlies, of course. The return of the Premier League, this time next week, live on TalkSport from Anfield. Here goes Davis for Ipswich, raiding down the inside left, pokes it forward to Clark. Nippy, tricky feet, running away from Neumann towards the dead ball line, then checking back infield onto the right side. Asay Samuel comes across in front of the Ipswich fans. They appeal, nothing given by the referee, and Asay Samuel shows good footwork himself and good strength to burst out of the defensive third, and Gray goes down. Birmingham get a free kick and they take it quickly. Take out to the left, Anderson has got Cochrane ahead of him on the underlap on this near side of the left, and Anderson has slowed it down, and Birmingham just content to keep the ball on the halfway line.
Yeah, just worrying there for the centre half again, Newman. Clark turns him, he just doesn't look like he can move his feet for me.
Iwata, crossfield ball, right to left. Anderson, left corner of the penalty area, took it down well. Low ball in is cleared away. Comes out only as far as Pate. Iwata edge of the D. Great ball. Stansfield rifles it over. promising position, just inside the box. Good first touch out of his feet, rifles it over the top on his right, still 0-0.
Great football, really good football. Again, coming down his left-hand side, Keshi Anderson direct, but really poor quality. Again, we alluded to it earlier, he's got to get better with that final ball. As it breaks back off Ben Johnson, it just comes to Paik here, fakes to shoot, lovely ball to Iwata, and he rifles it into Jay Stansfield. Great touch with the outside of his foot, and he gets the shot off. Really difficult skill inside the 18-yard box, high wide and a little bit ugly, but really good play, really incisive for Birmingham City. If they can get more of that, they'll definitely go on to score in this game.
There's a great kind of crisp precision about Iwata and Paik and the way that they move the ball, and we saw that in League One last season, and it'll be fascinating to see how they get on the Championship. Paik, oh, he slid in to win it back in what looked like a fair challenge, I have to say. The Birmingham fans are fuming because the free kick has gone the way of Ipswich. Paik,
he might not get
clean got the ball, hasn't he?
This referee might not get out of it, genuinely. He has been awful. He's read the ball on the left-hand side here, Paik, slides round him, wins the ball. Even Clark doesn't even call for a foul.
And here comes Ipswich on the attack down the far side there left. This could be controversial. Davis has poked the ball wide on the run from the angle. Difficult chance inside the penalty area, but he's put his hands to his head in frustration. It's gone so far wide. I think it's actually a Birmingham throw down by the corner flag, but it's certainly in a half of controversy so far. 33 minutes in, had Ipswich taken the lead, that would have proven very controversial, and actually replays have told us that Davis was offside anyway, but it wasn't given, Troy.
No, again, that just sums up the refereeing display so far. That was offside, but again, it's a worry for Birmingham. Just a ball over the top on that left-hand side. I was in.
Oh, good ball by Stansfield down the left. Kyogo is racing onto it, down by the dead ball line. Gray in the middle. Kyogo's cross is over hits. Gray won't get there, as Say Samuel was busting a gut to try and keep it in on the far side in front of the Cop at St Andrews, which runs the length of the pitch. He couldn't do so, and Ipswich clear from the resulting throw. No change again for Hurst from the referee. After that, challenge by Neumann. Birmingham have it back again. I think Birmingham have been the better side. They certainly have had the two big chances, the two big moments, if you like, aside from the opportunity for Smodics at the other end for Ipswich Town.
Yeah, I agree with that. If you had to look at on the whole, you would think that Birmingham City were the team that had just come down from the Premier League, more dominant, keeping the ball. It's just that little bit of quality in the final third, especially when they're crossing the ball. It's just been overhit again. Lovely ball from Stansford down outside. Kyogo's away.
No foul on Anderson by Matosiva. Taylor forward to Clark, 35 yards out left of centre, surrounded by blue shirts. Great hassle from Anderson to win it back. He's over the halfway line and he's in a 50-50 with Taylor. Has to go back to Say Samuel, far side, the right back position. Every decision being contested. It is not easy being a referee, we know that, but already 35 minutes into the season, that's going to be what people are talking about at half-time. That's what we're going to be talking about on Talk Sport, the quality or lack of the referee.
Yeah, and you know what, as you said, it is a hard job and they can't be expected to get everyone right.
Sure.
We all understand human error, but we would have to argue that 50% of the fouls is given today are not fouls, if not more. And I just feel that when you start the season like that, it's only going to get worse moving forward.
A lot of confidence about the Birmingham team. Iwata's angled ball to the left is overhit though, and Stansfield isn't going to be able to reach it. Ipswich have got a throw, and even if Ipswich have maybe played a more passive role in the game, in fairness to them, Palmer has not been tested at all. This could be problematic though, after injuries and the build-up for Ipswich. Sammy Smodics is down, and Troy, do you think he's done?
Yeah, he just indicated that it's his quad. He doesn't look happy. He went down and indicated straight away that there's a problem. I feel sorry for Sammy because he's had that one unbelievable season for Blackburn, and injuries have just been consistently nagging him. And you got John O'Shea to our left here, the Ireland representative, and he will obviously be looking at Sammy Smodic thinking, I want you available, but again, just can't seem to keep fit. And I think this breaking play actually helps Ipswich. I really do.
Well, here they come, both sets of players to the near side to take on water, take on instructions, and the hum and hustle and bustle in the stadium, as well as some of the fans take the chance to head to the concourse areas ahead of half-time. It's brilliant to have the Championship back on the Talk Sport network. 9 minutes of the first half to play, plus added time as we get it. Smodics walks across to the near side, and he doesn't seem to be moving too badly. Are they going to try and let him carry on here, I wonder, Troy, with the score Birmingham City 0, Ipswich Town 0?
Yeah, look, he indicated that it was his quad, so also, again, you don't know whether the manager's just said to him, just go down, I need 5 minutes here to get hold of this team. But I just look at it again, they've got Chaplin to come on, who's again had a fantastic season the year before in the Championship, so they've got talent and they've got the ability to go and make changes. I just think for Sammy Smodic, he needs to get a run of games under his belt and start scoring and feeling free again. And if he's at it, then Ipswich will be right up there.
Well, he is going to come back on shortly, Smodics. The game is back underway, and Ipswich temporarily down to 10. Clara thumps the ball downfield for Birmingham. It's a bouncing ball. Davis has miscued his clearance. Gray there to win it back. Smodics has still not got the go-ahead to come back on just yet, as he waits on the halfway line, about 20-30 rows of seats in front of us on the near side touchline. The old main stand, Garrison Lane side at St Andrews. The rest of the ground has been renovated superbly since the ownership of Tom Wagner and co came in, and Tom Brady involved, as we know as well, the NFL legend. Birmingham 0, Ipswich 0. Suddenly the glare of the floodlights getting brighter, the sky darker overhead. Ipswich have got everybody behind the ball, and credit to them, they are making life tough for Birmingham City. Clara, big diagonal down the right-hand side, and it's bounced out of play.
Absolutely, I think for Ipswich this would be considered a good first half. It's been scrappy, they've not been great on the ball, but defensively they've been solid. I don't remember a chance where we thought Birmingham should score. And Ipswich will feel, as the game goes on, Birmingham will get a little bit more desperate and can try and hit them on the counter-attack. They'll feel they've got the quality within their team and on the bench to carve a chance and score a goal. That may be enough in a game like this, but for Birmingham City, I feel that it's really good up until a point.
They've won it back though with Anderson here on the edge of the D with a low shot, and that is easy for Palmer, and I guess that goes down as the first save that either goalkeeper has had to make. I mean, you'd barely call it a save. 39 minutes in, it is still 0-0, and it is very tight here. Give it away though to Stansfield into the area. Oh, he's dragged it wide. That was a really poor effort in the end from Stansfield. He should do better than that. Birmingham's top scorer in their Championship-winning League One campaign last season, but he skewed that miles wide of goal.
Snatched at it, yeah. Just again, really good pressure for Blues. Actually, Iwata falls over and he gets played against him, but Jay Stansfield cuts on that onto that right foot off the left-hand side, middle of the pitch. He should look like he's going to hit the target. It's in the D, but just scuffs it because it's bouncing. And Jay's had 2 shots now. I normally would back him after three shots to at least hit the target, but I'd expect him now to be going and scoring, because in that moment I was just thinking, that's the goal, that's the chance he's been waiting for. And last season he would have just caressed that into the corner. And sometimes as a striker, when you start the season, you're desperate to get off to a good start, and sometimes you over-egg it and you do a little bit too much.
What a season he had. Euros winner with the under-21s, of course, as well. Jay Stansfield, part of the squad. And absolutely the 19 league goals, 23 in all competitions for Birmingham last season. 5 minutes of the first half to go, plus added time. Birmingham 0, Ipswich 0. Good diagonal ball from Allsop, the goalkeeper. Well controlled by Anderson. That's a great low cross, turned away. Excellent defending on the stretch by Greaves, and the flag was up anyway, so it wouldn't have counted. Free kick to Ipswich. That was brave, and that was tremendously well timed by the former Hull City man.
Yeah, it's the first ball that Anderson's put in with any real quality. It's a lovely little ball on the left-hand side. What's killing most modern-day teams now is the diag. So Ipswich are going up to press, and the ball's in the middle of the park with Allsop. And he hits a lovely diag out to this left-hand side. And Anderson, and this is what I think he needs to do more of, has one touch and then just puts it in the area, 7 yards out. And unfortunately, it's Samuel, the right-back, who just comes from the opposite side, has just got a little bit too early. And how is he giving it the other way? How?
Well, Hurst stumbled, it looked like handled the ball before he was fouled. The referee gives Ipswich the free kick anyway, 10 yards shy of halfway, and he has felt the wrath of the Birmingham supporters in the first half, hasn't he?
Yeah, and again, when you start looking at it, it's like, what do we expect here? Again, we've had 15 fouls in the first 40 minutes.
Hasn't been that kind of game.
It hasn't at all, but when you've got 15 fouls, and a lot of them have been the niggly ones that are stopping play, and you've got to either get hold of it and allow some of these to not be fouls and the players play it out essentially, or you have to start booking people so they stop fouling, because what it's making for is a terrible game of football to watch, because there's no consistency. And I just think that when you think of the 2 yellow cards we had, it was probably for the
aftermath,
but
which wasn't that much.
The least amount of aggression that was actually shown in any of the tackles. So for me, I think it's one that needs to be looked at, and the referee's having a poor first half. I know Kevin Friend is here. Hopefully at the end of the game he'll just say to him, you've got to be a little bit more lenient, because the championship is built on tackles, on people being a bit more physical.
Palmer under pressure from the onrushing Stansfield, and the goalkeeper manages to clear high out to the Ipswich right. Johnson wins a throw, and Kieran McKenna, you feel, 2.5 minutes remaining of normal time in the first half, still 0-0 at St Andrews on Talk Sport. Kieran McKenna, the Ipswich boss, might be quietly pleased with how this first half has panned out overall. Never easy, of course, finding momentum again after a largely losing season in the Premier League. But Matu Seaver has lost it. Blue shirts raining forward. Oh, Matu Seaver, he's tripped Anderson from behind. That'll be a yellow card. No question about it. It's a booking. The foul was about 35 yards from goal as Anderson ran at the Ipswich back four. Maybe he could have let it go a bit quicker, but it's a definite and clear yellow card for Matu Seaver.
Yeah, Matu Seaver was just in the position that he didn't see Jay Stansfield coming on his left-hand side. Probably used to a little bit more time on the ball in his previous clubs. And Jay Stansfield does excellently defensively. Coming from the backside, he doesn't see him coming. Great tackle, gets the ball back. Keshi Anderson picks it up. He does have a little nibble at him to start with. Lets him run an extra 10 yards, then just takes the yellow. It's probably a good team foul. But what that does do now, it means that both centre midfielders for Ipswich are on yellow cards. And that's something that when the counter-attack starts to happen, Birmingham need to be a little bit cute now as the strikers go down at any opportunity and try and get them sent off. I know that's not what people want to hear, but it's definitely what happens.
Well, he is walking the tightrope. Matu Seaver, former Ajax player, came through the academy there, joined from Rennes in the summer. Different pace, different intensity to French football, as Choi was saying. This is a long way out. Cochrane and Gray sizing it up, dead centre, 35 yards from goal here. Gray will strike it right-footed, and it's straight at Palmer. It is an easy take. Actually didn't have to move his feet at all there, the goalkeeper.
When them ones get hit, we say, keep us warm. He's had his warm-up, you don't need to do that.
It's a bold call,
it's the least to say. Again, I think showed a little bit of lack of quality there. I'd like to see him work something and put it in the box.
Asai Samuel on the Birmingham right, crosses high, headed away by Greaves. Good ball in, good header away by the centre half. Heading towards first half stoppage time here at St Andrews now. I can see the fourth official down below us. Oh, a risky back pass by Clara, bobbles up in front of Allsop. He hacks it away. 2 minutes of added time at the end of the first half. Not a great deal of quality, but there is so much intensity about this game. It feels almost like a playoff semi-final, Troy, with the atmosphere and the energy, and it does look as though nobody wants to be the player to make the first big mistake of the season. Yeah,
and that's the point, isn't it? Having that, also you say make the big mistake, I think it's more about having that player that's got a little bit of quality, a little bit of ego, a little bit of give me the ball, let me show you. The best players for Birmingham so far have been in the middle of the park. The two, Paker, Iwata, been excellent with their ball placement, the tempo in which they're passing. If they can just get a little bit more quality, a little bit more composure in the final areas, I think it's there for Birmingham to win. But as you say, it does have that feeling of a tight game. No one wants to lose, but I feel like Birmingham are the team that are pressing at this moment in time.
High ball forward by Johnson down the Ipswich right, well controlled by Hurst. No handball given by the assistant referee as he takes on Neumann, heads for the dead ball line, plays it back 5 yards into the path of Ogbeni. Ogbeni down the near side, the right, one-on-one with Cochrane, who's backing off him. Ogbeni goes back, Johnson's first time cross, headed wide. Another big chance for Ipswich, this time for Taylor, who couldn't hit the target, and it's a goal kick.
Should score. Great ball from Benny. Just files it into the box, right on the penalty spot. Taylor's just got inside the penalty area, in between the centre-back and I think it's Itara as well. Just goes in. It's a free header, middle of the goal. He should hit the target. Just tries to glance it to his left. Gets it all wrong, but again, another warning sign for Birmingham City that they have to do a little bit more, because Ipswich are live their game in this situation, and I think half-time will come good for both teams now, because Chris Davies will have that little bit of a realisation that Ipswich has still got the quality to hurt you just with one bit of quality at the end of the game.
And right on cue, that is the half-time whistle. Welcome back to the Championship. All the usual thrills and spills, a dose of controversy in the first half as well, but no goals at the break between Birmingham City and Ipswich Town. The big contention point early on in the game, Kyogo's goal ruled out. Fine finish, a lob over the goalkeeper, but adjudged to have fouled Jacob Greaves in the build-up. There looked to be nothing in it, but the goal was ruled out. Jay Stansfield has had Birmingham's best opportunities since then, twice failing to hit the target. And at the other end, Ipswich have grown into the game. Sammy Smodics and Jack Taylor perhaps should have scored. Both, again, unable to test Birmingham goalkeeper Ryan Alsop. It's got all of the energy, all of the intensity that you'd expect, but at half-time on TalkSport, it is Birmingham City 0, Ipswich Town 0.
As a steward escorts the officials off the pitch, Christoph Clara, the Birmingham captain, the centre-half, raced right over at the half-time whistle to have a word with the referee, and any wonder about that, because, listen, I'm not a qualified referee, but I am a fully qualified football fan, and I like to come to a game, watch a game of football, and the referee did his best to spoil it, certainly for the first half of the first half, just blowing up whenever he wanted to. We're not here to see you, mate, we're here to see the football, and he denied what should have been the opening goal, which could have led to a really open game of football. And actually, Troy Deeney, what I'm going to do is I'm going to applaud all the players, because despite the referee, I think they've tried to put on a good show.
Yeah, absolutely. Again, the best referees are the ones you don't see or hear about. I just felt at every moment of this game it was about him being front and centre. He's got his hair cut, he wants to be on Sky. I'm pretty sure he's got the family recording it. We've seen him about 55 times. He is really set himself up to fail from the first minute of the game when he gave that foul for Hurst. Little push in the back, nothing in it, goes down, and then he sets a precedent. And I think he's been really poor. The Kyogo goal, you tell me how that's a foul.
It's got to be a goal. He's half the size of Greaves, and yeah, it's physical, there's contact, but it's a contact sport. Listen, what I would say is to all youngsters who want to grow up to become referees, have a look at Andrew Kitchen in this first half. That's how you don't do it, okay? Seriously, that's how you don't do it. That's as poor a display as I've seen. Now, I hope it's as poor a display as he puts in this season. He's got some early season rustiness, really shocking refereeing. And I don't understand what his mindset was coming into the game. Let's talk about the football. Jay Stansfield's going to be disappointed, isn't he?
Yeah, he had two chances. The first one was wrapped into him. It was a great first touch, and sometimes the touch was too good that he was right under his feet, and he tries to get it away, he puts all the power in. The second one I'm really disappointed in, because he cuts in off that right-hand side, and as it bounces up for him, I'm just expecting to open his body and kind of Thierry Henry, just pass it into that far corner, but he tries to snatch at it, drags it horribly wide. Listen, we know as strikers, if you get 3 shots in the game, you'd expect to hit the target, 5 you'd expect to score. He now will be putting so much pressure on himself to deliver, and because he did so well last year, because he did so well in the Euros, we're actually saying neither of those chances were really good. The XG for Birmingham is 0.26. So there's no real expectation that he should score, but because he's put so much pressure on himself, so we're saying maybe should have scored one of them.
Smodics should have scored,
yeah.
And I think you nailed it in commentary, saying his shot selection was completely wrong. He had the time, he had all the space in the world, he only had to keep it to beat, he should have placed it. But I think part of that problem, the reason why that chance came about, Troy, is surely because of the way Birmingham played. Chris Davies, I think the only real criticism from Birmingham fans I heard last season was sometimes his default setting is go sideways and backwards. And there's been moments when they could have launched it to Keshi Anderson, did launch it to Keshi Anderson sometimes, but there's been moments when that big diagonal has been on and Cochrane's chosen to go backwards to the keeper or backwards to centre halves. And I understand what they're trying to do, draw the opposition out, but it led to Allsop making a huge mistake. Sometimes, do you think Birmingham, especially at home, could be a little bit more adventurous, take more risks?
Absolutely, I think as well, Aid, it's on the players. So when you're playing, and I spoke with loads of ex-players about this, you're given a framework and you're given an idea and an identity of what you want to do. It doesn't mean you have to do that every single time. The reason you've got to the level you're playing at is because you've got that individuality and you can make the right decision at the right time. I think Keshi Anderson is the embodiment of that. Works really hard for the team, but probably a great teammate. But that lack of quality, that lack of just trying to put it in the right area 4 or 5 times in a half and say to a striker, go on then score. I just think it's just that lack of quality. And again, we spoke about the goalkeeper at the top of the show. That's the reason they've gone out and got the young man from Brighton in Beadle. He's much better with his feet, makes better decisions, used to playing with his feet. I think Allsop, it's new to him. You've got to look at his career, he's normally a number 2. So, you know, he's playing now, he's earned it. He did well last year, but I don't think he'll be in there long term. And that's the type of moment that when they go in, everyone starts going, oh, why do you play football all the time? Go long. But if they get it right like they did last year, everyone says it's wonderful football. So it's for a coach, it's really difficult. But I just think that they just need to be a little bit more cute, hit a few more diags. And that's why I think Wrexham are going to do so well, because Wrexham will sit in, they'll wait, but they'll hit you on the diag and they're deliberate. Every time they go forward, they put it in good areas and make you defend. And we've seen, as we've just watched the Kyoto replay in front of us, if you make these centre-halves try and defend, they struggle. They really do struggle.
Yeah, we could talk all night about centre-halves for both sides, actually, and we probably will have time before the second half gets underway. It is goalless at half-time, but there have been signs, there's been moments, there's been chances for both sides. Birmingham City 0, Ipswich Town 0 at half-time, live on Talk Sport. It is full-time at Stamford Bridge for Talk Sport's Will Hobbs.
Chelsea 2, Leverkusen 0, and 2 new arrivals with the goals. 18-year-old Esteban after 21 minutes, and then João Pedro right at the death. The Blues' defensive vulnerabilities went completely untested, and their myriad of attackers were given a good run out. The standout by far, though, was Esteban. He caused havoc throughout and tapped in on the rebound after Palmer hit the bar. Then in the 90th minute, another 18-year-old Genesis Antwi sped down the right-hand side and crossed for João Pedro, who slotted it bottom corner across his body. Encouraging signs from Maresca, but a different story for Erik ten Hag and his team. They offered next to nothing. Chelsea 2, via Leverkusen 0.
Yep, finished 2-0 to Chelsea in the end. There's friendlies elsewhere. Newcastle level, 1 apiece with Espanyol at the moment. Tyrese Dolan signed from Blackburn on the Espanyol bench this evening. Matt Targett back in the country. Cancelled out the visitors' opener. Aaron Ramsdale saved a penalty in goal for Newcastle tonight. Brentford are playing as well. They're 1 down against Borussia Mönchengladbach in their friendly in London tonight. Let's have a look ahead to the Community Shield. Liverpool against Crystal Palace is a 3 o'clock kickoff at Wembley. I'll be there for Talk Sport. You can get full commentary of the game Sunday afternoon from Wembley. Shortly we'll hear from Palace boss Oliver Glasner on his desire to win every game. But first, Liverpool boss Arne Slot has been reflecting on his side's last trip to Wembley, which saw Newcastle beat them in the Carabao Cup final.
The way Newcastle played that final could be quite similar to the way Palace might play this final. So Newcastle used almost every free kick they got, no matter where it was on the pitch, to bring it into our box. And that's a style of play Palace also uses.
For me, it's always when you play a final, when you play, you always want to win it, you know. And I think I mentioned this so often. A game in training, I hope everybody wants to win it. It's a winning mentality, and I played when I was at home after the training camp in Austria. I stayed at home, and I Connect 4 and lost twice in a row against my daughter. I was really upset. And this, I think, is just the mindset you have, and I hope, and this is what we try to create always, a winning mentality. You never play a game just for playing it, you know.
There you go. Community Shield, Palace against Liverpool is live from Wembley on Talk Sport on Sunday afternoon. In fact, we've got so many commentaries for you on this opening weekend of the Championship season. Talk Sport exclusive tomorrow lunchtime. What's a game? Southampton take on Wrexham, 12:30. Join me at midday for the build-up to that. Coventry Hull, 12:30 is live and exclusive on TalkSport 2 at exactly the same time. After that on TalkSport 2, there's 2 more commentaries. West Brom Blackburn at 3, Sheffield United Bristol City at 5:30. Meantime, on TalkSport, I'll be taking you around the grounds with all the goals as they go in the Championship, League 1, League 2, National League's opening weekend, and the top 2 divisions in Scotland as well. We've got a commentary on Sunday as well from the Championship, TalkSport 2, 4:30 kick-off, Leicester against Sheffield Wednesday. It's all square, 0-0 at St Andrews between Birmingham and Ipswich at the break. Who's going to get the first goal of the Championship season, second half? Coming up next, exclusively live on TalkSport.
It's match day on TalkSport, and the fans are here playing Coral's Golden Rewards Shaker. The half-and-half scarfers shaking on both sides and winning. And as always, the TalkSport morning faithful tuning in and shaking things up. Even Alan Brazil's at it. Don't miss the Coral Daily Download every morning from 6 on TalkSport. Brought to you by Coral, the home of the free-to-play Golden Rewards Shaker. 18 plus, max 1 reward per player per selected Shaker day. 8 a.m. to 8 p.m. Restrictions and T's and C's apply. GambleAware.org.
This season with the Premier League, UEFA Champions League, Europa and Conference League, Emirates FA Cup and Adobe Women's FA Cup all in one place. TNT Sports is not normal. Neither was Declan's double of free kicks into the top bins.
It's Rice again!
Tarkowski's equaliser that shook the Gladys.
It's Tarkowski! Unbelievable.
And then there's this guy's 121st minute winner. All these competitions in one place, not normal. TNT Sports.
Save this summer with Lidl Plus. Get 2 for £7 on burgers, jumbo sausages and more. And get 2 for £3.50 on our plant burgers, veggie sausages and more veggie classics. Download Lidl Plus and start saving this summer today. 18 plus GB only while stocks last. Terms apply. See lidl.co.uk/LPTV. Offer ends 27th of August.
The road stretches before you, but there's trouble ahead. Stationary cars. You're faced with a McDonald's side mission. Do you, A, join the ever-growing queue, or B, take the next exit and treat yourself to a glorious Mackey's?
Detouring to McDonald's.
Start your side mission today.
The Sun's fantasy football game Dream Team is back to turn friends into rivals. With a top prize of £60,000, improved gameplay and completely free entry, it's an absolute sitter. But you've got to be in it to win it. Download the free-to-play Dream Team app today. T's and C's apply. 18 plus only.
What makes match day? You know Maggie's Cap is the vibe.
Mate, Piking all day, every day.
Mark, the cabbie, bigger fan than Rio.
Banging out some Not the Top 20 on the way to the game.
It's a great podcast.
All the expert pundits down a dog and duck.
Oh, Kebab Palace, he gets the chili garlic ratio spot on.
Match day is about more than just the game. It's an experience shared with local businesses at the heart of every EFL club and community. That's why we're proud to support the businesses behind the badge. Sage, official accounting software partner of the EFL.
And the 2025 Online Casino of the Year award goes to BetMGM.
That's how we do it in Vegas, baby. Sign up now to BetMGM Casino. Play £10 and get 200 free spins. Why wouldn't you play anywhere else? BetMGM. If it ain't us, it ain't Vegas.
Minimum £10 spent. New customers only. Wagering requirements and conditions apply. Awarded at EMEA Global Gaming Awards. 18 plus. Please gamble responsibly.
Talk Sport. New season. More high density. Super real. Kick-by-kick commentary from more leagues than ever.
Oh, he's hit the crossbar!
Hear over 500 games of live football.
What a fantastic strike!
A new sensational season starts this August on Talk Sport and TalkSport 2.
The Championship. It's one of the wonders of the football world. Let's get this season started. Live on TalkSport.
Kyogo lobs the keeper, and it's in! But the referee has disallowed it. What a finish from Kyogo. I don't think he did a lot wrong at all in the challenge on Greaves. All the goalkeeper's given it away. Smodix has fired it wide. Nearly a dreadful mistake from Ryan Alsop. Got all of the energy, all of the intensity that you'd expect. But at half-time on TalkSport, it is Birmingham City 0, Ipswich Town 0.
Well, we had the huge build-up from the fans beforehand. Big atmosphere in the stadium. Absolutely packed out as well. And the game hasn't delivered goals. It has delivered a high tempo and lots of energy as well. Referee has been a big problem in that first half. Hopefully he quietens down, stays out of it in the second half. Birmingham probably should be 1-up. Kyogo's goal ruled out early on for most innocuous foul you've seen. It remains 0-0 as we await the players coming out for the second half. Let me tell you, Ali McCoist is back on breakfast on TalkSport next week. He's with Jeff Stelling Monday and Tuesday mornings from 6 a.m. And actually, there's been some absolute gold on TalkSport breakfast this week. Jeff Stelling's rant about not enough people caring about Morecambe and Sheffield Wednesday. Ray Parlour saying Arsenal youngster Max Dowman could become the greatest player ever, no pressure. And the former Everton defender Alan Stubbs saying he had a night out with Jack Grealish and tried to convince him to join the Toffees. I mean, Alan Stubbs and a night out with Jack Grealish, did he really survive that? White and Jordan back together next week, 10 a.m. till 1 p.m, Monday to Thursday. England's number one, Hannah Hampton, was on that show today explaining how she threw the Spanish keeper's water bottle into the crowd for the shootout in the Euro final because it had penalty tactics on it, and she got away with it as well. You can check that out. You can check the video of her saying that on TalkSport, out on our social media platforms on Instagram at TalkSport, etc. The players are out for the second half. Birmingham have been the more dominant in terms of possession, no question about that, but we are still awaiting the breakthrough. Birmingham have bossed possession. Ipswich haven't had a shot on target. Birmingham 0, Ipswich 0, second half, live and exclusive on TalkSport as the championship season is underway. Here's Troy Deeney and Joe Shannon.
And it doesn't look like there are any half-time changes for either team, but there is a fan a couple of rows in front of us who wants a selfie with Troy Deeney, and I'm going to try and get out of the way, Troy. Or
No.
should I photobomb it maybe? I don't
Absolutely photobomb it, yeah. It's funny when you say to people, yeah, I'll take one after because I'm working, and they go, yeah, I'm going to do it anyway. So yeah, it's anyway, boy, we've got the football.
Yep, it's back underway. First game of the new championship season on TalkSport. Ipswich from right to left in the second half, all in red, and Birmingham from left to right, all in blue. Blues in the second half playing towards the Gilmerick stand, which is split between home and away supporters, and Ipswich are kicking towards the Tilton Road end of the ground. Header by Iwata over halfway, Kyogo jumping, good flick towards the right, but too much on it for Gray, and it's an Ipswich throw just shy of the halfway line. We're right behind the Birmingham dugout here. Chris Davis, the head coach, t-shirt on to the right of the halfway line. Kieran McKenna to the left. Not quite the feverish atmosphere that we saw at the start of the evening. And in fact, lots of supporters still yet to retake their seats for the second half. I'll give you the two teams in a moment. Asai Samuel has nearly given away a corner, and he was then ploughed into by Hurst, as Asai Samuel tried to nudge the ball away from the corner flag. Maybe there wasn't a great deal in it, having consulted the monitor that hangs above our heads in the press box here. It is a free kick anyway to Birmingham City. So Birmingham all stop in goal. Asai Samuel, Clara, Neumann and Cochrane, Iwata and Paik, Anderson, Stansfield and Gray behind Kyogo. And for Ipswich, Palmer in goal, Johnson, Greaves, O'Shea and Davis, Matthew Siebert and Taylor, Clark, Smodics and Ogbeni behind Hurst up front. Neither goalkeeper's had a serious save to make so far, but there have been chances. Down the left for Birmingham, far side is Keshi Anderson. One-on-one with Johnson. Right-footed cross is a poor one. Cleared away by the first man, Matthew Siebert. It is Birmingham 0, Ipswich 0 on TalkSport, and here's Troy Deeney.
Again, a really good play. He's the out ball, isn't he, every time? Keshi Anderson drives, gets at the fullback 1v1.
Well, Kyogo's nearly chested it down in the penalty area now. Headed away, Iwata over the top, rushing onto it. Momentum took him into the box, and then as he chested it down, he was leaning back. He maybe stumbled a little, and it's hammered high over the top and into the lower tier. And that really sums up the game so far in front of goal.
Yeah, again, it just comes from a long throw. Birmingham keeping it alive. Ipswich defended poorly, but Iwata bursts in ahead of Clark. And the problem he has is, as he's going to hit it, the ball's just bouncing up, and as the ball's bouncing up, it's even harder to keep it down, especially when you're on the stretch. But again, good start for Birmingham, just a lack of quality again in the final third. Ipswich, on the other hand, just haven't got started, and again, it looks really, really difficult for them.
I'll give you the subs in a moment. Gray, Birmingham's number 10, down the near side, the right, back at his the club where he started his career. Damari Gray out on the near side of the field again. Gray who was born in Birmingham, to the corner of the penalty area in Iwata. Time to deliver! Headed away over the top by Greaves. That'll be a Birmingham City corner, their first corner of the night, and we're still waiting for the first goal of the new championship season, live and exclusive to national radio on Talk Sport.
Again, though, it comes from the two in midfield with that quality, with that little bit extra pizzazz. The ball comes to Iwata there. Could have literally whipped it in first time, took a touch, let it settle, and then put it into a wonderful area. It's a good header from Greaves. If he doesn't head it, it's a goal for Birmingham City.
Well, the sun has set here in the second city, and the floodlights really prominent now. Cochrane is going to take the corner on the near side for Birmingham right. It'll be left-footed and in swinging this corner. Here it comes into the 6-yard box, header away by Greaves, hit on the volley by Pake and drags it wide. The Ipswich fans put their hands up into the air and they cheer ironically. It goes wide again and it remains 0-0. Be fascinating to see how and if the game opens up in the second half. The Birmingham subs are Al-Hamadi, Chaplin, Ashley Young, who is a summer signing, Broadhead, Kipre, Walton the goalkeeper, Wolfenden, Barbrook and Humphreys, and for Birmingham, Beadle the goalkeeper, Bielik, Doyle, Leonard, Laird, Gardner-Hickman, Williamson, Cashin and Dykes. Lots of options for both sides. Davis looking to raid down the near side for Ipswich, can't keep it in play. Ipswich have not really shown much fluency tonight. In fact, really when you think about the key chances in the near 50 minutes so far, Troy, you're really looking at both sets of players seizing upon mistakes from teams trying to play out from the back.
Absolutely. Again, it's a distinct lack of quality, and it's really disappointing. I did see something nice there for Ipswich, though. Tried to play out from the back, wasn't on. Keeper Palmer's just hit a nice 1v1 into Hurst. He's looked after the ball, and as he sets the ball off and spins, if they'd have just lifted it in, again, I spoke about it a lot, Newman can't move his feet. He's very good at going to attack the ball, 6'4", as you discussed, but you've got to be able to move your feet at this level, and especially the level above. I think he could come in the serious problems as the game gets a bit more expansive, because that's a great ball.
High by Cochrane down the far side, the left. Anderson would have done brilliantly had he kept it in, but he is beaten by Johnson, and the former West Ham man drives it downfield. Wrestling match between Hurst and Clara. They both looked at it. I think referee Kitchen right to just let play carry on. Clara 10 yards shy of halfway. Back to Cochrane in the left-back spot. Very cultured left foot. And he'll roll it all the way back to Allsop, who again, the goalkeeper gives it away. He's a little lucky, actually, that it wasn't worse that Ogbenny didn't pick up on that. It is an Ipswich throw, level with the edge of the penalty area, 0-0.
Yeah, Allsop again, because he's made that mistake, he goes into his shell. All he has to do is allow that ball to come across his body and play out the opposite side of the pitch. Instead goes back out, a little bit of a hospital ball into Cochrane. And thankfully for Birmingham City, I've got to let it go, but otherwise it'd have been in on goal.
A little nervy here for Birmingham. Johnson raiding down the Ipswich right, gets the cross in. That looked like handball from the first man, nothing given by the referee, and then a header out of play by Matu Siva. That'll be a Birmingham throw midway inside their own half on the Cobb side of the ground, and Tom Wagner is up there somewhere, the Birmingham owner and chairman, whose ownership group have helped really transform Birmingham's fortunes. It feels a long time ago since that championship relegation season, but it's not that far off, a year ago. And then, of course, the record-breaking return straight back up from League One. Trying to do what Ipswich did a couple of seasons ago and win back-to-back promotions. Damari Gray for Birmingham rolls the ball wide to Asai Samuel, infield from the former QPR man. Iwata down by the edge of the penalty area, wide to Asai Samuel. Good ball headed away by O'Shea. Ipswich winning the aerial battle at the moment, touched on by Cochrane to the edge of the box. Matu Siva intercepts, looks for Hurst, centre circle, plays it back. Smodic's over the top first time. Jack Clark will chase. It's bounced over his head. Don't think he knew where the ball was. And then a risky back pass by Asai Samuel. Actually, Allsop deals with that pretty well to find Asai Samuel again. And there's a foul by Hurst, who is showing some more aggression in the second half. It's a free kick to Ipswich, but Troy Deeney, free kick to Birmingham rather. From your former club's perspective and from Ipswich's perspective, it's still quite scrappy. Is that fair? It hasn't really changed the pattern of play.
Yeah, absolutely, and we spoke about it. It's going to need one of the attacking players from either side to just...
Iwata looks for Kyogo, spinning in the penalty area from the angle, tries I think it was a pullback rather than a shot. Greaves in the way, Birmingham throw by the corner flag. It's goalless, and we are 8 minutes in to the second half here on your home of the EFL, Talk Sport, in by Cochrane, only half away by Greaves, header further clear of danger by Johnson from the right corner of the penalty area. Ipswich fans behind the goal to the right-hand side, the end that they're defending in the second period. Birmingham calm on the ball. They go back to the giant Clara on the halfway line. Wrexham away at Southampton. And tomorrow lunchtime in another intriguing early season encounter, live on Talk Sport for you at 12:30. Coventry against Hull on 2 at the same time. Johnson on the cover steers the ball away for Ipswich, not very far. Header away by Greaves to the midway point of his own half. Smodics, ball over halfway, takes a deflection. Clara, as it loops up into the air, is there to nudge it clear himself. Then Paik allows the ball to drop down on his right foot, gestures to everybody to settle down. Good call from Paik. Iwata let it run across him. Paik manages to nudge it back to Neumann, and here come Birmingham again as I say that. Poor ball up the middle by Clara, straight through to Alex Palmer.
Yeah, again, you spoke about that, Paik being calm and trying to control the game. But again, it just alluded to before I stopped to let you talk. There's a little bit of quality in the final third from any of the attacking players. Just to say, like, give me the ball. Yes, you're going to make mistakes, but I want to be the one.
Oh, Kyogo could be in here. He is in. He's tripped the keeper off the post. Stansfield! The first goal of the new championship season is a Birmingham City goal. And listen to what it's done at St Andrews. Jay Stansfield, he couldn't miss from close range after Kyogo was denied by the woodwork. It's a blockbusting start to the season for Birmingham City. 10 minutes into the second half, and they have the breakthrough. Birmingham 1, Ipswich 0.
We just spoke about who's going to be the person to have that little bit of quality, and it was Kyogo. I know Stansfield scored, but he's on the shoulder again. 1v1, lifts it over the goalkeeper. Really good shot. Hits the post, breaks to Stansfield. And I said to Aid at half-time, Jay Stansfield only needs 3 shots. His third shot, he scored. It's kind of like I know what I'm talking about, isn't it, Aid?
Third time lucky. And it's 1-0 to Birmingham. Keep right on. The anthem of Birmingham City roars around the ground. In their 150th anniversary season, Kyogo is so unlucky, Troy, that he's not scored a couple tonight.
It's showing that real quality in which he has, though. I know it's hit the post, but he's got a player on his left-hand side. He's fallen to the ground, still lifts it over the goalkeeper. And then for a finish from Jay Stansfield as well. That's not an easy finish to keep down as it's bouncing up. So again, you'd like to think now Birmingham will settle. I'd expect to see Jay Stansfield just be a little bit more calmer. You saw the first 2 shots he had, snatching at the ball. I'd expect him now to be calmer for Ipswich now. What do they do? Because they've been pretty poor. Defensively they've been solid, but as an attacking force they've been nothing. And I'm just looking down at my notes here. 13 touches for George Hurst, 5 fouls.
Well, he has not made anywhere near the impact that he would have hoped to so far. There's a long way to go. We are not yet at the hour mark, but the roof has really come off here at St Andrews. 25,000 plus Birmingham fans are in raptures. Here's Iwata striding up the middle again. Good lunging challenge by Taylor to win it back. O'Shea with a high diagonal ping down the left-hand side. And running onto it was Davis. Asai Samuel's going to try and shepherd it behind for a goal kick. He's got it right on the dead ball line. Back to Neumann, who'll hack it clear up to halfway. It is Birmingham City 1, Ipswich Town 0. And we have lift-off in the championship season.
It's a perfect 57 minutes for Birmingham City so far. Controlled the tempo. Felt like the better team, as we said earlier. Just can they manage now this next 5 minutes? Because the emotions are going, this crowd's up, they'll feel like they need to go and get a second, but just it's going to need Paik and Iwata to just get hold of the ball, take the sting out of the game a little bit, and allow for this Ipswich team to try and do something.
Ipswich 1-0 down, Smodics with a cross, only half away, and they were lucky there, Birmingham, that it didn't fall right into the path of Hurst. It's dropped to Johnson, another chip into the area. Hurst trying to spin and turn with his back to goal. In the way was Clara to clear. Well, it looks as though Ipswich are going to see much more of the ball now, with still over half an hour to go. No need to panic, and here is Smodics to Hurst, right into the area, back towards Smodics. What an interception! What a lunging stretch by Christoph Clara to get in the way of that. I knew he had long legs, Troy, I didn't know they were that long.
I actually think Hurst had made the wrong decision there.
Should he shoot?
Yeah, it's a lovely one too with Smodics, but then he tries to give an extra pass. But since the goal, Birmingham have weirdly just dropped off, and they've played more long balls in the last 2 minutes than they did in the whole first half. Just got to get composure. Chris Davis is obviously trying to say to him now, just calm yourself down. But emotionally now, this crowd's up. Ipswich will have a spell in the game, whether they'll play good or playing bad. You just need to control your emotions, get on the ball, take the sting out of the game. They know they can win at this place now. It's not like it used to be, it's a fortress. Just get used to it and use your subs.
Unbeaten here in the league last season, Birmingham. When they scored first at home in League One last season, in 17 matches, they won 16. So Birmingham fans will certainly back their team. It is a free kick to Ipswich midway inside their own half the field. And Kieran McKenna will surely feel disappointed at his side's lack of impact in the second half. And you do wonder whether changes they should be afoot for Ipswich by now. Nearly an hour gone in the game, and they're 1-0 down to Birmingham. Jay Stansfield, the top scorer for the League One champions last season, on target to begin the new campaign.
Unfortunately for Ipswich, when you look at the bench, there's no world beaters there. There's some good players in the likes of Chaplin and Al-Hamadi, but Broadhead, are they going to really change this game at this moment? The direction in which this game's going? I'm not sure, but it just feels to me at this moment in time that Birmingham need to take a little 5-10 minutes of just more touches on the ball, because they're getting emotional now. They're winning, but it doesn't feel comfortable win. Does that make sense?
Yeah, there's a nervousness, isn't there, in the crowd? And actually, as Ipswich win a free kick on the far side, the right, Ogbeni is not happy. Couple of arms up into the air. It's not really a clash between Ogbeni and any of the Birmingham players, really. Again, both sets of players from either team come across to have their say. Andy Kitchen, the referee, has got control of it again. And actually, we have mentioned the referee much less in the second half, which could only be a good thing. It will be a free kick to Ipswich away on the right, and the referee having a word with Alex Cochrane, who I think is he going to avoid a yellow card?
But yeah, it's never been a yellow card. It's Smodic playing for it. But the problem I have with how Birmingham have been since the goal is it's like a fear setting, and they've got so much confidence from last year, but they're in a winning position against Ipswich. They've got to get used to being comfortable in winning positions, and I don't know, it just seems like a nervous energy setting on the players over the last 5 minutes, and I haven't seen that for about nearly 2 years now.
They have dropped off, no question about it. Ipswich seeking equaliser. Away at the left-hand end of the field, the Tilton Road end of the ground. Free kick delivered in high by Johnson, and it's headed up into the air and behind by Iwata. That'll be a corner to Ipswich. Hurst, the number 9, went down in the penalty area, nothing given by the referee, bar pointing straight away to the corner flag, and Birmingham have brought everybody back behind the ball. Ipswich were much better away from home in the Premier League last season than they were at Portman Road, and there was only one win in all of last season, and that was at Portman Road in the Premier League, and that was against Chelsea. 3 away wins they managed in the Premier League. There was an appeal from Dara O'Shea in the penalty area there for a foul.
I'm still a little bit worried at the threat that they pose from set pieces.
Yeah, they've got plenty forward in red here. For Davis to take the corner, lots of jostling in that 6-yard box, into the near post. O'Shea with a flick header, over the top by the captain. I mean, there was so much wrestling going on in there. Troy Deeney, both teams were at it.
But there was a problem there because Sammy Smodic wasn't picked up at all. So if that flick would have been a bit more deft, Sammy Smodic was at the back post all alone. It just feels a little bit like Birmingham just need a minute or two to just calm the game down and just sort it all out. But I would expect that over the next 5 or 10 minutes, Chris Davies now is starting to think, does he bring Kyojo off, go Stansfield through the middle, put an extra body in that midfield, maybe a Leonard, just get a bit more control of the game. They do obviously have options with Landon Dykes as well, a bit more physical presence, but it's been a little bit disappointing since he's been in that Birmingham. But I can actually see a situation where Birmingham go to one up front now, put an extra body in there, try and dictate the tempo and hit the Ipswich on the counter-attack.
Well, both head coaches are on the edge of their small technical areas in front of the old main stand here. And Davis will take a throw right in front of Chris Davies, the Birmingham boss. It's long towards Matthew Seaver, couldn't bring it down inside Birmingham territory. Now the tireless Anderson has held it up on halfway, back to Paik and square to Iwata. Birmingham slow it down a little. Asai Samuel back to Iwata. You see the poise of the two midfield players again for Birmingham City, the experience of Asai Samuel. Clara, left edge of his own penalty area, finds Cochrane in the left back position, rolls it forward towards Anderson. No foul. Yes, there was a foul by Johnson, free kick.
But again, you've just alluded to it there, when it goes into the two in midfield, they've just got that nous and that game management to understand, right, we haven't had the ball for a minute, let's just calm down. We're just watching Chris Davies here get some mess up to Jay Stansfield, but he's screaming at him just to calm down, slow it down, because the tempo is a little bit erratic at this moment in time for Birmingham City, and a little bit of a problem here. Wata's just stretching his hamstring, and for some reason he's up, but the referee is sending him off. I don't know, not sending him off as in giving him a card, but sending him off the pitch. He hasn't had no one come on, he's had no treatment.
A weird rule, and I don't think,
but he hasn't had
it feels like it's been applied properly, this. No, you're right, there was no physio on.
The physios are here.
No treatment for Iwata. Has he been sent to the near side to get some treatment?
No, he sent him, you know when they go down and they have the 30 seconds?
Yep.
He's applied that for him just stretching his hamstring on his own.
That doesn't make sense, it feels like.
No, there's not been a physio
down to 10.
Not a physio gone on the pitch, nothing.
Well, Iwata's stretching his legs. He will get the call to come back on shortly, you'd think. Ipswich have called Nathan Broadhead towards the near side touchline. I think he might be about to come on shortly. The Welshman, who had a good goal-scoring record in the Championship when Ipswich were promoted in such exciting fashion in 23-24. O'Shea, Birmingham fans call for handball against O'Shea. Iwata still waiting to come back on. O'Shea under no pressure whatsoever. Midway inside his own half, square to Johnson, back on comes Iwata. So 11v11, Birmingham 1, Ipswich 0 on Talk Sport as we head towards the final quarter of the game, with 4 Championship commentaries to come for you tomorrow throughout the day on the network. Best way to be across it all, download our free app. We've got the Super Cup coming up for you next Wednesday, Tottenham against PSG, and the return of the Premier League from Friday night at Anfield, live on Talk Sport. Liverpool against Bournemouth. Here is Ogbeni looking to wriggle away down the right-hand side, far side for Ipswich. Back towards Matthew Seaver. Under pressure is Johnson from the on-rushing Stansfield. Birmingham can't win it back. Good sharp passing play by Ipswich. Jack Clark, 25 yards out, onto his favoured right foot, to the edge of the D. Works it wide left. Leif Davis is in a crossing position. Steers it back infield. This is good from Ipswich. Taylor. Good tempo towards the left corner of the penalty area. Birmingham have got everybody in blue behind the ball. And here is Clark. Heavy touch. Asai Samuel gets across. Clark, though, wins it back. Very tight angle. And then across came Neumann. Double deflection. Goal kick given. 3 changes on the way for Ipswich, including what will be a debut for 40-year-old Ashley Young.
I was just thinking to myself, Ipswich in familiar territory, being a goal down, they've got better. It does feel, doesn't it, like they're more comfortable being a goal down, but Ashley Young was going to get some reception here being an ex-Villa player. Just listen out for this one.
Here we go. Osmonics, Broadhead, Chaplin, and Ashley Young going across to right back. I mean, he won't be overwrought by it with the experience that he's got, but the Birmingham fans making their feelings clear. He is not the most popular man on this ground.
No, but he's gone in at right back, interestingly, for Johnson. Ooh. And, you know, Keshi Anderson, we spoke about being lively. I need Keshi Anderson now to run him. 40 years old, as you said, he's got the experience. He did well in the Premier League last year, but has he got the legs? Keep running at him now, cause problems.
Birmingham 1, Ipswich 0, just over 20 minutes to play. Does feel like Ipswich could well get an equaliser the way that the game is going. It is all Ipswich, right to left in the second half, and Birmingham getting actually increasingly deeper. Having taken the lead, they have been very passive since then. Matisiva's ball forward to Chaplin, the number 10. Very tricky player, Connor Chaplin. The booze for Young as he whips in the cross towards Hurst, and it took the deflection of Neumann, and that allows Allsop to get across and make a simple take, and he's slowing the game down. There were one or two afters between Hurst and Neumann and Clara.
Neumann keeps stretching his hamstring, stretching his calf. Looks like maybe the speed and the tempo of the championship has caught up with him, because clearly he's fit. He's been in at all of pre-season, but I think the emotion is starting to get to him now, and maybe looking at Cashin to come in and just see this out. But as you said, it is all Ipswich at this moment in time. You just feel that Birmingham need to go. Wow.
Strange back pass from Anderson, well brought down by Allsop, the goalkeeper. He's had a mixed night with the ball at his feet, Ryan Allsop, because he's had to deal with a couple of those, and he's dealt with them very well, but immediately he's given it away, and Ipswich will come back again and they can build an attack, Troy Deeney.
I was just about to say, they need to go from right to left with, like, I don't know, go out to Keshi Anderson, come back through the middle, come outside and look after the ball, and they just did it there, but unfortunately Keshi Anderson tried to go to the right back and unfortunately shanked it straight to the goalkeeper. He did deal with it really well, but then, as you say, just give the ball away. It just feels like Birmingham now are struggling a little bit. I want to see a little bit of character now from your bigger players, your Stansfield and the like. Oh, referee!
Matisiva has been caught, and the yellow card out of the pocket of the referee for a late challenge from Paik. So the South Korean is booked here. Matisiva stays down. Chris Davis, the Birmingham head coach, looking for what would be win number 45 from 61 matches in all competitions. They reached the Football League Trophy final last season as well, did Birmingham, beaten by Peterborough United.
You didn't have to bring that up.
How did that happen?
With him next to me, you did not have to bring that up.
Here is O'Shea. Pull him apart, somebody pull him apart. Now Young, forward from just inside Birmingham territory for Ipswich, who have looked good since going behind. It's as though the goal has woken them up. 19 minutes to go on TalkSport plus added time. 1-0 to Birmingham City. Davis infield, Matisiva, not a good touch. Stansfield there to win it back with great tenacity, and then he wins a free kick. Well, he scores plenty, but he is absolutely tireless, Jay Stansfield. I think Birmingham are going to make a change or two in a moment, but he's still the main man, no doubt.
Absolutely. It looks like they've got, I'm just trying to look, it looks like they've got Doyle warmed up as well. Obviously Tommy Doyle was at Man City, was at Wolves. Excellent footballer. Maybe he's got that little bit of quality to get hold of the ball.
Kyogo wrong side of Greaves, and it's a free kick to Birmingham. Inside right hand edge of the penalty area. Dangerous position, dangerous point in the game this for Ipswich Town. If they concede a second, then it is probably all over. Kyogo trying to whip up the crowd. Sorry, Troy.
Yeah, no, I was going to say, he's been excellent, hasn't he, Kyogo? Great team performance. We spoke about the goal that was disallowed, but he just runs off the back of the big centre-half, gets into the lovely channels, and he's smart enough as well to go down. So many people to try to stay up there, show their strength, especially on their debut. Cute enough to go down, and then, as you say, whip the fans up. That'll endear him to the fan base. But what it does do now for Birmingham, puts them in a great position to try and get a second. Free kick, what's that, 12 yards out on the right-hand side. This has got to be put in with some pace and some quality. We've got the experience now with the height in there. It's a little bit of quality. Make the goalkeeper make a save. You just don't want to see this go out at the back post.
Well, Cochrane has got a great left foot, just 2 in the wall for Ipswich. He looks like he might fizz this in. That he does, but it's way overhit over the top of the right hand of Palmer and behind for a goal kick.
Everything I just said we didn't want is exactly what happened.
After all of that.
But we watch enough football that we see those who always think that the free kick taker just gets too carried away. All you need to do there is just put it in an area and make the defenders defend. But they always try and whip it with pace and power. And 9 times out of 10 they get it wrong and we see it go out of play.
We will bring you Ipswich's next game on the network at home to Southampton next Sunday. So it's a tough start, first couple of games for Kieran McKenna and Ipswich. It is early days, of course it is.
But also as well, you say it's a tough start, but it's a great start. You don't want to come into the Championship just beating teams at 50-60%, get comfortable that this is how you're going to do it. You want to play the best teams early.
Gray is away down the right for Birmingham here. He's pulled it back. Great pace by Gray. Cross is cut out by O'Shea with just over a quarter of an hour remaining in the game. Davis fouled by Kyogo. Free kick Ipswich in their left back position. And a raucous St Andrews, but a nervy St Andrews as well. Ipswich are seeing a lot of the ball now. Are you seeing signs, Troy Deeney, that Ipswich Town growing into the game and starting to look a little more like the team that Kieran McKenna wants them to be?
No, weirdly, I'm starting to see the team I saw last year, a team that's passive, that's trying to survive, and then as soon as a goal goes in, it's a team that is free and the shackles come off and individuality comes out, the personalities come out. You're just sitting there, the ball goes to O'Shea. He's a massive diag to Leif Davis, who's overlapping, and he hasn't done that all day. And they get now to the edge of Birmingham's half. Give the ball away, unfortunately, for a throw-in, but then didn't do that for 60-odd minutes. It's really interesting from a tactical point of view from Birmingham City as well, because Chris Davis is probably thinking, we're solid, then Ipswich haven't created anything, but I probably need to use my bench, because I got some quality, and I got some players now who can add a little bit. Who do you take off? Do you change formation? Because it can easily go in favour of Ipswich, because the substitutes so far for Ipswich haven't done a great deal.
Paik has cleverly brought the ball down. Great elegance on halfway. Stansfield then caught. Not happy with Taylor. There are a couple of afters there. Referee gets a cross in between the two of them, and I think it's all fine very quickly.
That would be really...
Well, Kyogo is going to lead the field to a standing ovation on his debut. And you know what it's like to lead the line at this club, Troy Deeney. It's a lot of pressure, a lot of expectation. Kyogo involved directly in the goal. So unlucky that his lob came back off the post. And you called it, he's going to be replaced by Tommy Doyle.
Yeah, look, you know what was very interesting as well, and I do love this for players. He was disappointed to come off, and he should be, because he's done excellently well. But this just shows the calibre of player that Birmingham City have now attracted and the recruitment that they've done. Because you can move Jay Stansfield up now, and Jay will give you the running power and that excellence of just keep going non-stop. But also now you've got the quality and the craftsmanship of Doyle, that if they can just pick some pockets and get him on the ball, the three in midfield should now really control the game, and we have that outlet in Jay Stansfield. But I'm really happy for Kyogo, and I'm more happy that he's actually frustrated that he's coming off. That's a good sign for me.
But it's Birmingham 1, Ipswich 0, live on TalkSport on weekend number 1 of a jam-packed championship season, just the start of the many twists and turns to come. So Doyle for Kyogo, Birmingham's change. Ali Al-Hamadi is going to come on shortly here for Ipswich. He didn't get a lot of football in the Premier League last season. Al-Hamadi had quite a meteoric rise really in a short space of time. They brought him in from Ipswich initially, from Wimbledon.
Yeah, I was going to say, Ipswich bought him himself. No, again, played against him when he was at Ipswich in League Two. Real good, powerful player. Raw, but you know, I think he'll do well in the Championship.
Header on by Paik for Birmingham towards the edge of the box, and Davis on the stretch will clear it away. And he's got pace, hasn't he? So
yeah, absolutely. But I wonder whether he'll come on for Hurst or whether he'll come on for Taylor.
It's Clark in the eye. So that is probably like for like, you would think.
Yeah, it's not a natural position for Al-Hamadi. I'm just watching. Yeah, they've gone like for like. It's not a natural position for him because he is an out-and-out striker.
Yeah.
But I was just thinking, Taylor just made that foul on Jay Stansfield. He's already on a yellow card. Again, one more and he could potentially be off, and it could be an awful start for Ipswich altogether.
Greaves has hooked the ball over his shoulder, not very far. It bounces down midway inside the Ipswich half. Here is Young charging forward. 40 years of age now, Ashley Young. He signed a year's contract at Portman Road. On the halfway line, the ball is chested down by Al-Hamadi. Looks to get on the end of the return from Chapin, who's nudged it down the far side, the right. No foul on Al-Hamadi by Cochran, and then he snaps back with an overly robust challenge on that far side, the Birmingham left, and there are high fives between a couple of the Birmingham players as they win a free kick in front of the Kop. And Neumann is already something of a fan's favourite, and Kyogo too, it feels like. The Sports Bar Weekender comes next on Talk Sport once we're done. 03717 223344 if you want to have your say. And of course, the rest of the Championship action to come over the weekend. We've got Leicester against Sheffield Wednesday on Sunday. That'll be very interesting to see how Leicester get on this season, Troy. We know that Sheffield Wednesday look like they're in all sorts of trouble.
It should be a wake-up call to Leicester. You know, this is how bad things can get if you don't get your finances in order. And you know, Sheffield Wednesday, one of the great footballing institutes that we've had growing up in this country.
That is Sunday on Talk Sport 2. Taylor sweeping up at the back for Ipswich. Heavy touch by Al-Hamadi deep inside his own half on the stretch. Back to Young, who's given it away. Well won back by Gray. Good anticipation down the left-hand side. 10 yards from the corner flag, and he wins the throw. I think he's had an excellent game.
Yeah, on his second debut he's been excellent. I think he's matured now, Dibby. When he was here as a young man, obviously very lively, just coming after Nathan Redmond as well, both coming through the academy. Tried to do too much. I think his stint away and his maturity is starting to show, and that's another great recruitment strategy as well.
Stansfield nearly bursting into the box, a roar every time he gets to the ball. Ipswich struggling to clear. O'Shea eventually hacks it away again, not very far. Iwata from long range has blasted that over the top. 40 yards out.
Yeah, look again, but it's just a touch. It gets cleared, it's not a nice clearance, but he deals with it, crisp first touch. And I think he just thinks, have a shot. If I score, obviously it's great, it's world class. If I don't score, I just put it out of play. And Jay Stansfield has gone down. Again, the referee's called. I don't know why Jay Stansfield's walking back in, but for some reason the referee's called on the physios now. The physios have got to Jay Stansfield, and now they're just walking him off. It looks like Landon Dykes and Ethan Laird coming on now. Bit of experience, bit of quality to see this game out.
Birmingham City 1, Ipswich Town 0, and once again St Andrews is on its feet. 8.5 minutes to go, plus added time. And Lyndon Dykes, who had a bit of bad luck with injury last season, didn't see much in front of goal. And Ethan Laird, who, as Troy was mentioning, key in the League One title-winning season last year, is also going to come on. Off goes Gray. He hasn't seen yet that his number is up. Maybe he doesn't want to see it. And as Stansfield, who could well be the match winner, coming off as well. Big price tag, Troy Deeney. Yeah. Big contract, big pressure. I tell you what, he looks at home in the Championship, doesn't he?
But he looks at home here at Birmingham City as well. For any young player, obviously he did well at Fulham as well when he went back, but he felt love here. He felt like they need him. And when you empower a player like that with the love and the trust, he's repaying that. It doesn't matter about the price tag. Interestingly here as well, Ethan Laird just going in as a right winger here. So trying to shut up shop, get him to match Leif Davis, bring Damari Graf, who you spoke about being excellent. And I just think this is, again, the tactical prowess that Chris Davies doesn't really get credit for. But Landon Dykes on now is going to be a lot of expecting him to look after the ball, be solid, running the channels, but also now let's just nullify for the last 10 minutes and see this game out.
As Ipswich looked to play the ball out of the back, and the goalkeeper Palmer very nearly gave it away. Matu Siva back to O'Shea. Good press collectively from Birmingham, but Ipswich have played through it. Broadhead over halfway, angled ball to the right behind Al-Hamadi, had to retreat to keep it in play. Ipswich seek an equaliser in the 84th minute here on TalkSport. They are 1-0 down. Ashley Young making an underlapping run. Al-Hamadi, middle of the Birmingham half, under pressure from Anderson. He never stops running, and Al-Hamadi seemed to catch him off the ball. Anderson went down. Referee says play on.
But again, that's the best bit of play from Ipswich. It feels like they need to be a goal down. I keep alluding to that, but they're playing more football now than they did when it was 0-0 as the start of the game.
Oh, and they've given it away, Birmingham here. What a tackle sliding in by Cochrane. Firm but fair. Ipswich throw.
Had to make that. Got left short there by Keshi Anderson. And if he hadn't made that, he would have been in on goal or a bit of red card. Real last-ditch lunge.
Well, off goes Matu Siva now. He's going to take the long walk around the edge of the pitch for Ipswich, and on comes Cam Humphreys, who had a great season on loan at Wycombe Wanderers last year. Humphreys is on the ball, midway inside his own half of the field. Back it goes to Greaves, and now out to the left, and Humphreys with his second touch of the ball, the number 30. Back as part of the first team group at the moment anyway. It'll be interesting to see how many more Ipswich add. Ashley Young's forward pass, Broadhead midway inside the Birmingham half. Good football from Ipswich. Out to the right now, Hamadi. 5.5 minutes to go. Birmingham are 1-0 up on TalkSport. Ashley Young's first time cross. Hurst with a looping header. Couldn't quite get over the top of that. Got underneath it, and it doesn't test Ryan Olsen.
But I also think that's why they've bought Ashley Young in. That ball gets set back. That's a wonderful ball in. It's the wrong type of header from Hurst. Needs to be heading that back into the mixer. He's trying to get his net muscles to try and head a looping ball back into the ground. But Ashley Young at 40 years old, let's give him some credit.
Yeah.
Still be going, still active, still have that passion and that desire to play. Even dropping down a level to play in the Championship. You've got to give him some credit.
It says a lot about his motivation, doesn't it? And why he's in the game. Still looks fit as a fiddle, Ashley Young. Birmingham 1, Ipswich 0. More than 27,000 here at St Andrews tonight. Chris Davis, the head coach, lets the ball bounce out of play, and it's lets it trickle behind him, and it's a Birmingham throw right in front of their dugout. 4 minutes plus added time to go. Had a great schooling, I guess, in management, Chris Davis. He worked with Brendan Rodgers at several clubs, and Ange Postecoglou at Spurs as well for a bit. As the ball is won back by Doyle, high up the field for Birmingham. Chipped towards the corner of the penalty area by Asai Samuel. Smuggled away by Ipswich. Al-Hamadi, good first touch to jink away from Cochrane, and he raids down the far side, the right. Anderson slides in again. Anderson with a great timing of tackle and execution, and it's a throw.
How good has he been?
Has he ever stopped running in this game, Troy Deeney?
Absolutely not. I think when you look at it from an attacking point of view, can he offer a bit more? Yes, absolutely, a bit more quality. But as a teammate, you must love him.
Hurst plays it back to Chaplin. Al-Hamadi, angle tight in the area. Al-Hamadi onto the left foot, plays it back, can't find Chaplin. Anderson, that man is there again, but he's given it straight to Ashley Young. Ipswich is still a threat here with only a goal down. That is not a threat though. That ball in by Taylor is really poor first time on his right foot. He should do better. Goal kick to Birmingham, who are closing in on a victory to start the new season.
Yeah, but I also think just a little bit more quality. Again, just looking down this Birmingham City, Landon Dykes didn't really set the world alight at QPR. I understand why they brought him in, but it got to do more. Got to be an outlet. Ball just bounced to him there, lets it short, and he gets it back on the counter-attack. But we just hit a highlight here of Al-Hamadi just falling over. Lucky for Birmingham that he did, but he never once looks up and ends up setting Keshi Anderson, who actually has stopped running now, because it does look like he may have run out of batteries in the old Duracell bunny.
Somehow. Didn't think it would ever happen. And Anderson is being treated here. And the Birmingham fans serenade their team. It would be a 35th league victory in their last 47 games. They are a winning machine, Birmingham City. They're looking to take it into the Championship, and whatever anyone else says, Tom Wagner, the owner and chairman, has said they are capable of reaching the Premier League, and they are capable of doing it this season.
And how good is that, and how refreshing is that?
Yeah.
In a time where everyone talks about the process and 5-year plans, an owner coming in and going, yes, we're capable. I think Gardner Hickman's going to be coming on here. For me, really talented player, great utility player. Gives me a little bit of Mark Albrighton. He can get up and down the line, play either wing, play at fullback, and Takeshi Anderson's been excellent at coming off, and probably will get man of the match as well, in my opinion, for the teamwork that he's done. But we now have that strength in depth to just make the change, and we're not panicking because Gardner Hickman tried to test it at this level, and you know what he's going to bring you.
On he comes, the former West Brom and Bristol City man. There's a standing ovation for Anderson as he makes his way again all around the edge of the pitch. Last minute of normal time, quite a bit of added time to come, I would think. 1-0 Birmingham lead Ipswich. What a exciting start to the Championship season it's been, even if the game hasn't always been full of quality. There's a head injury here. Clara goes to ground. Kieran McKenna cuts a frustrated figure at the moment, the Ipswich boss. How hard is it, Troy Deeney, to take a losing mentality, losing run as they've had, and turn it back to a winning mentality again?
Well, that's on the players. As I touched about at the start, if you look at this team, it's a very, very good Championship team that have played in the Prem, and what happens is there's an ego and there's an entitlement that comes. And what they have to do over the course of pre-season is just knock that back out of the players, and it doesn't seem to be that way at this moment in time.
Here we go, 8 minutes of added time. You can hear the reaction of the Birmingham fans.
But I also think as well, when you look at someone like Hurst, who has been speaking a lot, hasn't he, about how he thinks he can score more, he's done more for the team. He's shown no real quality at the moment to suggest that he can get Ipswich out of this league. Again, it's one game, you got to be fair. But if you're Ipswich and you're Kieran McKenna now, you're thinking there's a lot of problems we've got to deal with, both on the pitch and mentally off the pitch.
Transfer window not done yet.
Yep.
At talksport.com, by the way, for all the latest from the transfer window. As Gardner Hickman has won it back, and a high lofted ball downfield towards Dykes is going to bounce through to the goalkeeper. It was Doyle's pass in the end, but Dykes couldn't get onto it. Nearly a minute through the 8 added at the end of the game. Birmingham 1, Ipswich 0. And howls of disbelief from the Birmingham fans. There have been a lot of stoppages in the second half. Here is Humphreys for Ipswich. Inside left channel. Early ball in, high towards Hurst. Good header away by Clara.
Great header. We'll take that though if you're Birmingham City. Sit back, let them cross from deep. You can see it all coming, and as we spoke about the two big centre-halves, they want to go and head it. Probably can't move their feet well, but if you give them enough time to see the ball, they'll come and attack the ball well.
Broadhead through the middle for Ipswich, wearing number 33. He is very much linked with a move away from the club in recent days and weeks, Nathan Broadhead, but he starts the season an Ipswich player, been linked with Wrexham, and Wrexham will be at Southampton tomorrow lunchtime on TalkSport. Over 90 seconds of the 8 added have been played. Birmingham 1, Ipswich 0. Ipswich have the ball. On the attack with Ashley Young. Al-Hamadi back to goal, right corner of the area. Scored lots of late goals in the Championship, Ipswich. Chaplin's deep ball to the back post. Good header away by Ethan Laird on the cover. That's going to bounce out of play. It was a feature, Troy, wasn't it, of their promotion season? Yeah. They scored late goals. Can they get a late equaliser here?
Yeah, and what you also saw from a Birmingham point of view there, when you've got two natural right-backs, they both go and do the same position, and Ethan Laird nearly just ran under the ball there and caused himself a problem. But I just think with the substitutions that we've now made, Birmingham City, it's inviting Ipswich to cross the ball and have a lot of possession in Birmingham half. Birmingham have to get the ball into Landon Dykes and get him to look after it.
Ipswich have not had a shot on target in the entire game. We're in the 93rd minute. 8 were added at the end. Ashley Young's corner to the back post, headed back across. Al-Hamadi goes in, and the referee has pointed to the spot. And Ipswich have a penalty in stoppage time. Handball given by Andrew Kitchen, and Ipswich have the chance to save a point at St Andrews. What drama in the Championship.
I thought that straight away. We're a long way away, but I thought that's a penalty straight away. That's why I said it. I said to you in the first half, I felt really unsure with Birmingham defensively. And again, they've got the bodies in the way, and as we're just watching the replay, look, Landon Dykes go and head it, misses the ball, hands in the air, look, hits straight off the hand. It's harsh, but by the letter of the law, it's a penalty.
Had to be.
But again, we're going to look at it, and Birmingham fans around us frustrated saying it's soft. But in my opinion, Landon Dykes has got to go and head that ball. He's on his way down as the ball's being headed across. Just shows he's mistimed it. It's given Ipswich a chance and Hurst a chance.
The number 9, who has had such a frustrating night, will step up in front of the Birmingham fans at the Tilton Road end, halfway through 8 minutes of added time. George Hurst to bring Ipswich back on level terms. Big deep breath, short runner, right-footed, and he drills it down the middle and in. Allsop dive to his right-hand side. Hurst has scored. He celebrates in front of the Birmingham fans, and Ipswich have salvaged a point late at St Andrews. 94 minutes on the clock, and there's a lot of frustration from the Birmingham players at Hurst's celebration. Objects were thrown at the Ipswich man, and there's a coming together now between Ipswich players, Birmingham players and Birmingham subs. But at the end of it all, it is Birmingham 1, Ipswich 1.
Yeah, I'm not sure what's gone on. Something seems to have gone on. It looked like it wasn't Hurst, it was somebody else had gone and celebrated in front of the Birmingham fans, to which is what the players got frustrated about. Look, Birmingham City can be frustrated and they can blame the referee. This is of their own doing. This is of their own doing. Fair play to Hurst, he's had a poor game, we've mentioned it, and I wrote down on the piece of paper, didn't I, beforehand, middle. No goalkeeper's ever going to stand at this pressure moment, and it's a real calm penalty. But I don't know, for some reason, I don't know whether it was Youngie, I don't know whether it's Ashley Young has done something, but Youngie and Allsop are at each other now, so be interested to see what happens. But this referee, give him a lot of stick in the first half. That's a brave decision, and in my opinion, he got it right.
Well, there's a yellow card for Connor Chaplin of Ipswich, and is that it in terms of the aftermath of Hurst's converted penalty? 1-1 in stoppage time on TalkSport. Ipswich, masters of late goals in their previous championship season. Handball by Dykes, and Hurst steps up and does the job. Oh, and now there is a collision between Hurst and Neumann. Clara gets involved too. It looked like Hurst ran right down the middle, and he was wrestled to the ground in the middle of the Birmingham half by Paik coming across, and the referee has got another flashpoint to deal with here, and it is very tempestuous, as is so often the case in the Championship.
Genuine question to you here. Do you think the referee has handled this game well?
No.
Okay, because I thought it was just me being a little bit biased.
Not since the start.
But you're getting those temperature moments. No one's getting carded for it. And so it's allowing for it to keep happening. And again, we're just watching the replay. I'm trying to see what happened. What was the problem? Oh, so basically, as he scores, the ball bounces out to Chaplin.
Well, Birmingham are on the attack at the other end here. They want a penalty, but it is actually an Ipswich free kick.
Oh, wow.
And there was a Birmingham fan at the front of the stand trying to come forward and get involved in a melee, and that is absolutely not right.
No, absolutely not. But just to give the listener what happened. So Hurst has scored. As the ball's come back out, to be fair to Chaplin, he's gone to smash it in the net to celebrate. Absolutely missed it and has kicked it straight to the Birmingham City fans. Again, that's no excuse for the fan then trying to get involved. There's no place for that. We've seen what happens before. Oh,
Birmingham got to be careful they don't lose it late on here. In the 98th minute, Ipswich now have a free kick in the left wing position. It is Birmingham 1, Ipswich 1, and we're going to go into added time at St Andrews, and Birmingham at risk of losing their heads and losing a point here now.
Absolutely, self-imploding. Ethan Laird just making a foul for no reason, and I said this to Aid when Portsmouth beat Birmingham City in the final. It felt like Birmingham, they get scared in these pressure moments, and since the goal they have been.
Davis with the free kick, it's a good one, headed away from inside the middle of the penalty area. Jack Taylor for Ipswich trying to get on the end of the loose ball. He goes down, Tame shoving the back from Gardner Hickman. It's an Ipswich throw down by the far side of the field, 10 yards from the corner flag, 1-1 on Talk Sport. And there won't be any love lost between these two teams when they meet again later on in the season. Two promotion contenders, you would think. Another object's been thrown onto the field of play. Lots of objects have landed on the pitch close to the goal, and the Birmingham fans do themselves a big discredit by doing that. Water bottles on the pitch. For on the far side, which Ashley Young will leave it as it's hoisted into the penalty area, headed away by Clara. That is a corner right at the end. We are in the 100th minute, and Ipswich might have the chance to steal it here.
How poor was that? A long throw, a free header for Klarner, and for some reason he just heads it out for a goal kick. I mean, for a corner, sorry.
Davis to take it. Everyone back in blue for Birmingham. Davis hoisted into the back post, climbing at the far post. Greaves guts his head to it, loops it up into the air. Fouled by O'Shea. Free kick to Birmingham City. I wonder what Chris Davis made of the penalty decision. Be interesting to get his views after the final whistle, but you were instantly there, Troy, on the spot to say you thought it was handball, and it looks like it's going to end 1-1.
You have to see that. The reason why you have to say it was is because, to put yourself as your team, you'd want that. So that's why you'd say, like, it was his hands up there. Landon Dykes jumps, mistimes it. To be totally honest, again, I've got no vendetta. I don't know the fella at all, but he's been poor since he's come on. He's not won a header. He's not looked after the ball, and he mistimes the jump, and his hands are up in an unnatural position. And granted, he can't get out of the way, but his hand shouldn't be there.
We're in the 11th minute of stoppage time at the end of the game. Birmingham 1, Ipswich 1. Down goes Hurst, bundled over by Neumann, and that is it. Boos from the Birmingham fans, and Ipswich have spoiled the Birmingham party on the opening night of the Championship season with an injury time equaliser in a niggly, feisty game full of controversy. George Hurst kept his cool to level things up from the spot in added time after handball by Lyndon Dykes. A lot of the Birmingham supporters upset with the penalty that was given and the celebrations that followed. Dykes stands on his own midway inside his own half. The substitute who gave the penalty kick away, Hurst drilling it away from Ryan Alsop, who'd already committed himself to level the match. That after Birmingham had taken the lead through Jay Stansfield early on in the second half, brought an incredible roar from a very noisy crowd here at St Andrews, which has been a fortress in recent times, and that is a measure of how good a point this could be for Ipswich Town. They didn't really come into the game until they were 1-0 down, but credit Kieran McKenna's side, they battled to the end. Birmingham might feel that over the course of the 100 plus minutes that key decisions went against them. Of course, there was the disallowed goal for Kyogo in the first half, but Ipswich will go back to Suffolk with a point well earned on the opening night of the new season. The Championship is back, and already on Talk Sport it is full of all the usual drama. Birmingham 1, Ipswich 1.
And we've just been watching Lyndon Dykes on his own, and Troy Deeney, you spotted it. He knows, doesn't he?
He knows, yeah. And again, look, we've just got the replays here. He's talking to the referee. He's got to go in there, and if he's got anything about him, he'll go, my fault, lads, got to be better. But when that ball goes over his head, you can't then be in a position. He's in the zone, Aid. You're at the back post. You know you've got to go and head that ball. As the ball's coming back over, he's coming down. He's mistimed it by about a second and a half. That, to me, just shows a little bit lack of quality, but a little lack of bravery as well, that he needs to go and head that ball. And I thought when he came on, he was poor. I said last year I didn't understand why we brought him in anyway. We had Lukas Jukovic. And again, I know Dukey's gone and he's retired now, but if you put somebody like Lukas Djukovic on in that situation, he heads it, the game's done. I think we showed a real lack of bravery, I would say, and I think it'd be interesting to hear what Chris Davies says afterwards, because they bossed that game until they scored, and the second they scored, they went away from everything that they did right.
It was crazy, wasn't it? The policy from Birmingham, whether that's come from the manager and he's saying what we have, we hold at 1-0, I can't believe that, because they were totally on top in the game. They have allowed Ipswich back into the game. The thing with that is Ipswich didn't have any quality at all. Their only shot on target was the penalty. And George Hurst afterwards has the audacity to go up to the Birmingham fans and cup his ear. Are you sure, mate? I think you've got to play a bit better than that if you're going to make it in the Championship. And Chaplin runs in, misses an open goal as he's celebrating. There's a lot of finishing for Ipswich to be working on, I'm afraid. And they're lucky. They're so lucky to get out of here with a point. But you're right, it definitely was a penalty. Lyndon Dykes' hands, what they're doing up there, I don't know. He's timed it all wrong. And it's a shame because Birmingham had earned their goal. Yeah. And what a good goal it was as well.
Exactly, and just to go back to your point, though, Ed, if you're Ipswich now, you're buzzing. You're buzzing with this because it's a terrible performance. You've stayed together, you've showed grit, you've showed determination, you've come from a goal down against one of your main competitors, and on your worst day, you got a draw. You'll be buzzing with that. Hurst is off the mark. I thought he was really poor. But you know what it's like, Ed. He scored now. He might go on a run and score in the next 10 games. But as for Birmingham, the goal was beautiful. I think that in my opinion, 9 of the 11 are ready to go and kick on and get them in the top 2 places. I'd expect the goalkeeper to change because he was pretty poor. Listen, he did get helped by his own players at times. I think the left winger Anderson is a great team player but needs a bit more quality, and I think one of the two centre halves needs some pace next to him, because when they go and head it, they're great. When someone runs in behind, oh my God, me and you turn quicker than that.
I'm not sure about that, but the midfield 2 you were talking about, Iwata and Paik, I think they're sensational, ready-made for the Championship, some real quality and a reason to come and watch Birmingham, because they are good to watch.
Absolutely, and when it clicks, Aid, you saw for the goal, we've got Kojo up front. People won't understand it, but as a striker you look at the nuances. He's got a defender in Greaves pulling him down, he's sliding, and he still has the whereabouts to lift it over the goalkeeper, and unfortunately he hits the post. And then, like all good strikers, Jay Stansfield follows up in his third shot, like I said, and he scores. It's a great finish, but I think with those two you've got the goals, you've got the quality, and I think what Chris will be asking for now to the board will be saying, but when I change it, we drop 20%. And you are naturally going to drop a little bit, but you want that drop to be between 5 and 10%. 20% gives the pressure and the indication to the other team that here's our moment, and that's what happened today.
If Birmingham fans want to feel better about this, opening game last season in League One, they drew 1-1 home to Reading. Yeah,
and by the way, in that game, they got absolutely battered by Reading. And it looked like, oh my God, I don't think this is going to happen again. But today, 70-odd minutes, dominated the game, much better on the ball, clear patterns of play, looked like if they had a little bit more quality in the wide areas they could go on and score loads more. But again, you're coming up against an Ipswich team that's just been in the Prem. All of these players were in the Premier League. Even Ashley Young was in the Premier League last year. So you take the positives. I do worry about that mentality shift. I don't think it came from the manager. I think it leads into players going, oh, we're winning here, what do we do? And naturally just take a little step back, and they went away from giving the ball to the 2 midfielders. My message as a captain to the players would be, if we're in danger, pass it to them too, because I don't remember them giving the ball away, do you?
No, they were terrific. Very quickly on Ipswich, should they be a bit worried, because they were Premier League last season and they were really poor tonight, and they're very lucky to get a point.
They should be worried, because I didn't see a style of play. I didn't see an identity. There was some running, there was some sitting back. I saw some talented players, but no one in that pitch where you thought, tell you what, someone in the Prem will come and snatch him up. I just didn't see it. So a lot happening, a lot to decipher. But again, for Ipswich, they'll take the point on the road. They'll try and get to the end of this window with some players leaving, realise their squad. If they can bring in Amari Hutchison back into this team, it changes everything. But I just think for Birmingham, this is one that got away, and for Ipswich, this could be one at the end of the season where you're going, that wasn't a bad point, actually.
Indeed, great to have the Championship back, isn't it?
I love it. It's not going to be good getting out of here, but I love it.
It's unpredictable, that's for sure. Troy, thank you very much. Tomorrow we've got 4 live and exclusive championship games on the TalkSport network. Southampton Wrexham live on TalkSport at lunchtime. Join me from midday for that one. Same time on TalkSport 2, it's last season's beaten playoff semi-finalists Coventry against Hull City, who stayed up on the final day. That game is followed on TalkSport 2 by West Brom Blackburn at 3, and that's followed on TalkSport 2 by Sheffield United Bristol City at 5:30. On TalkSport tomorrow afternoon, I'll take you around the grounds with all the goals as they go in the EFL top 2 divisions in Scotland, and the opening day of the National League season for all the 3 o'clock games tomorrow afternoon on TalkSport. By the way, St Johnstone winning at Ross County in the Championship tonight by a goal to nil. The 2 sides relegated from the Premiership last season. I'll flag up to you on Monday afternoon, 4 o'clock. I'm back on Drive for a one-off show from 4 through till 7. I'll be alongside Darren Bent for that. Really looking forward to that. The Championship is back, and of course it's brought the drama. Birmingham thought they'd return to the second tier with a win, but Ipswich's only shot on target was the late penalty George Hurst stroked home for a controversial point. Sports Bar Weekender coming next on TalkSport.
It's match day on TalkSport, and the fans are here playing Coral's Golden Rewards Shaker. The half-and-half scarfers shaking on both sides and winning. And as always, the TalkSport morning faithful tuning in and shaking things up. Even Alan Brazil's at it. Don't miss the Coral Daily Download every morning from 6 on TalkSport. Brought to you by Coral, the home of the free-to-play Golden Rewards Shaker. 18 plus, max 1 reward per player per selected Shaker day. 8 a.m. to 8 p.m. Restrictions and T's and C's apply. GambleAware.org.
Let the Ford Pro Power Promise give you the confidence to switch. Every Ford all-electric van comes with a £10 Ford Pro home charger, 5 years free servicing with roadside and towing assistance, an 8-year battery warranty, and easy public charging with free access to the Blue Oval Charge network. Experience the thrill of an all-electric wow drive at your local Trust Ford dealership today. T's and C's apply. Visit trustford.co.uk for full details.
It's full throttle exhilaration. It's Team Sport Karting, the UK's #1 indoor karting experience. Make yourself a legend behind the wheel. Feel the thrill, battle it out, and be a champion for the day. With 37 tracks across the UK, there's a Team Sport near you, and now open in High Wycombe. Save 10% when booking online. Use the code GET10 on the Team Sport website. Verification at team-sport.co.uk.
Yorkshire Tea, where everything is done proper. Yorkshire Tea, where everything is done proper.
Maybe not.
Yorkshire, Yorkshire, Yorkshire Tea, where everything's done properly. Yorkshire, Yorkshire, Yorkshire Tea.
Right, enough of that. How about Yorkshire Tea, where everything's done proper?
So, what are you watching at the moment? Squid Game, Dad.
Let's watch it together this weekend. That'd be nice. What's it on again?
Netflix. You've got ETV, so you just switch it on. What season are we up to?
4. That's Stranger Things, Mum.
And what about the kids? Don't worry, they'll watch Cocomelon for the 100th time.
Switch on Netflix with EETV. Plus change up sports and entertainment. It's TV with the ultimate flex for the whole family.
EETV requires EE broadband. Separate 24-month contracts for TV and broadband. Content may vary at times apply.
When it comes to sports betting, it's important to cool off and play safe. Set deposit limits to control your spending. Set timeouts when you need a break. And set reality checks to know how long you've been playing. Showtime ain't always go time. Stay safe, players, at BetMGM.
18 plus, please gamble responsibly.
On 1089 and 1053 medium wave on your mobile and on your smart TV. Licensed to broadcast late night intoxicating opinion and spirited sport. Hang on to your bar stool for the nation's fastest after-match after-party.
Referee says yes!
The Sports Bar Weekend on Talk Sports.
Good evening and welcome to the Sports Bar Weekend with me, Majestic, alongside former West Ham striker, the hitman, Carlton Cole. The Championship returned with a bang this evening, live on TalkSport, as Birmingham drew 1-1 with Ipswich in the curtain raiser of the Championship. And what a roar it was when Jay Stansfield slammed the host's goal. But a controversial 95th minute penalty salvaged the point for the away team in an action-packed, feisty encounter. If you went to that game this evening, if you're on the way home, the phone lines are open for you to have your say. 03717 223344 is the number to call. And since the Championship is one of the most thrilling and exciting leagues, if you're going to a game this weekend, we want to hear from you and your Championship flowing crew that will be with you this weekend. Elsewhere, we talked about last weekend, Son left Spurs this week as he moved to the USA. So we'll be talking about what send-offs should club legends receive when they leave a club. Who deserves a send-off from your club? And yes, because it's Friday, Jack's quiz is here from 11:30, but for now, it's all about you and your views. 03717 223344. It's the Sports Bar Weekender on TalkSport. And somebody who knows all about the Championship and the feisty encounters that happen in that league is Mr. Carlton Cole.
How you doing, mate?
I'm in the new studio for the very first time. Is this your first show?
It's my first show in this new studio.
Sharing this moment together.
Yeah, let's do it together, man.
What a way to do it. Yeah. Great game there, Birmingham Ipswich. We was enjoying it. It's getting very feisty.
Yeah, it was. I don't think the referee had control of the game.
Troy mentioned that.
Yeah, first 15 minutes I heard it was going off already. So, yeah, it was one of those games where you want to get the points on the board quite early. Birmingham are at home, Ipswich on the road.
Yeah.
Ipswich are quite known for scoring late goals in the previous Championship season they were in. So, they've just done it again, really, and Birmingham have probably felt hard done by.
Yeah, it's probably why it kicked off that late penalty. Of course, at the end of the day, it was a penalty, but you know how frustrating it must be for the Birmingham party because, you know, first game at home in the Championship, you know, lots of expectation from them and their club, of course, with the Hollywood power that's all behind them.
Yeah.
But to get a point, I think at the end of the day they go away, everyone should be happy with that, just to get the season started.
Yeah, just get the season started. I always say that the first 5 games, you got to get points on the board, otherwise it's going to be a struggling season. And then when you look at it, if you could get 2 to 3 wins under your belt in the first 5 games, being the teams like Birmingham that would expect something like that, and obviously Ipswich as well, that's just come down from the Premier League. They'd want the first 5 games to kick off to a good start, so share the spoils ain't too bad. No. Great, I think it's a better point
for Ipswich,
obviously, because on the road, and no matter if they've just come down from the Premier League or not, it's still a point is still a point, respect it, and especially when you've just scored a late goal like that too.
Having played both in the Premier League and the Championship, what's the main difference between the leagues? Is it the way that, you know, sometimes results in the Championship, it can in the Premier League, but, you know, sometimes I look at the Championship and it can just go any way quickly, and you can have a run of games of like 5-6 games and all of a sudden you're down or up.
Yeah, look, I spent a year down in the Championship, and
did you enjoy it?
Yeah, we did, yeah. The fans enjoyed it, because it's real football again.
When you say real football, what do you mean by that?
It's just that, especially now, obviously, no VAR.
Yeah.
What you see is what you get. It's end to end. It's just, you have to fight. You have to fight first, get the point, or get 3 points, and you just got to get the points on the table. There's no way of getting it. It's not about your beautiful football. It's nothing that you need to get out, especially with big teams like the Birminghams and the Ipswich. They want to just get out of the Championship and get into the promised land, which is the Premier League. So any way they want to do it, it doesn't matter. Now, you do have teams like Burnley that played some beautiful football. Then you've got Leeds that play some good football as well. That done it their own way. I remember when Burnley won it with Vincent Kompany, beautiful football. Same again with Scott Parker, lovely football. But sometimes it doesn't matter what type of football it is, just as long as you get out. And it's a grueling match after match. And you're trying to get out of that Championship.
A long season.
It's a long season. It's a long season, and plus you've got the cups as well to think about too, like trying to go on a cup run to gain a bit more money. So it just it's a great league, and I think it's one of the best leagues in the world.
Well, I was gonna say, where does it rank in Europe? You know, you look at the big leagues in Europe. You know, I've spoke to Alan Pardew about this, of course, when we did the show on a Sunday together. Final word, and he reckons, you know, it's going to be up there in the sort of the 5s and 6s, like of the best in Europe.
That's a good shout. I'm not gonna. When you look at it, what other leagues are out there that you think could challenge for entertainment-wise the Championship? And the Championship is just so entertaining. You don't know what you're going to get. You've got some good teams in there. As I was saying, you've got some good teams that play beautiful football. Then you've got some decent teams that play decent football as well. And you just want to see a good game of football. And the fans always appreciate it because you see some end-to-end stuff sometimes. There's no direction in the game. You never know when another team can score,
like today,
equalise.
95th minute.
Yeah, so it just shows you the surprise element in that league is always going to be there, because some teams get complacent, they think they've won it, then all of a sudden, bosh, goal goes in, heads are spun, and then everyone's like, what's happened there?
The heads gone moment did happen, and it all kicked off, didn't it?
Exactly.
We've seen it today.
Exactly.
Like, let's go back to the refs quickly there, because Troy Deeney made that comment on air about he didn't think the ref had a good handle of the game. How important is it for the ref to have a hold on those moments there in those games, especially when you see it kicking off the way it does?
Man, do you know what? We always complain about refs not like always blowing up and blowing the whistle.
Yeah.
But there has to be some law and order. Then you could, because that's when you get injured.
The fine line between.
There's a fine line between.
There was some rugby tackles in there.
Mate, I saw some off the ball stuff. Like, it just didn't make sense. I was like, what's this? A rugby match? But when you look at the whole scenario, I get it. It's the first game. If this is the first game, he's gonna have to tighten up a little bit, the referee, because he can't let it go like that. And especially these two big teams. First game of the season. You got to. It's a time where the referee can advertise himself to see that is an adequate refereeing. And when I look at it, I just think, do you know what? He didn't have a hold of the game for the whole game, and especially in that latter part where you need to have some law and order and some direction. And there was a few tackles flying in that shouldn't have been flying in. There was a few late ones. There was a few elbows. There's a few you can't
few rugby tackles.
It can't happen, and the referee has a big responsibility to get that in order.
Well, should we take our first caller in the new studio for me and you?
Yeah.
This is our first caller. It's Dan, the Birmingham fan. He was at the game. Good evening, Dan.
Hello, how are you?
Yeah, very well, Dan. For mutual entertaining stuff, because it was all getting quite heated at the end, but I'm sure it might have been frustrating for you, that last sort of minute penalty.
Yeah, the atmosphere was absolutely electric.
Yeah, it seemed it.
I think our return to the Championship, it is a brilliant game. I think we held our own. We showed a lot of fight. We showed what we're about and what we want to be about this year. I think the result doesn't really show. It should have been 1-1. Okay, it was a penalty. It was handball. But Kyogo's goal at the start of the game, was that a foul? Should we have won 2-1? Would that change the dynamics of the game? I don't know.
Yeah, it's true. You never know. You can't go back and see how it changes, because at the end of the day, the game unfolded the way it did. I just want to talk about expectations for you guys for this season, because, of course, a great season last year, up into the Championship, the hallowed land, the place you've been before, and a club like Birmingham deserves to be, the Premier League. What is the expectations for you as a fan this season, Dan?
Absolutely. As a fan, I think I like to say that we're going to be top 10.
Yeah.
That's where my head says. But going from like the documentary and everything we did last year and the signings we brought in last year, I think we built a Championship team last year, and we built on that further. So my heart says that we could be top 3 or 4. And after today's performance, I think if it was a change of favour to be title, why not top 2?
Yeah, when I you said, for me, like Birmingham, I remember the days when I used to play against you guys in the Premier League, and I always liked playing against Birmingham. I scored a couple of good goals actually.
You wanted to get that, didn't you?
But when I picture Birmingham, I look at them and think, do you know what? They're gonna put. They've had their progression has been brilliant so far under the new regime, and it looks like they know what they're doing. Apart from obviously there was a little hiccup with management change, but now I think they're back on the ball, and it looks like they're going to be going to the next level. So yeah, he's saying top 10. I'm saying I think they can get top 6, get into the playoffs, if done correctly.
Yeah.
I say top 10, but that's just being like a wise.
It's not putting all your eggs into one basket just yet. Yeah.
I've been saying to all my friends top 6, but after today's performance against a potential title contender, I do think top 3 or 4 now.
Yeah.
And especially like Kyogo, Damari Gray was fantastic.
He was, yeah.
Basketball was fantastic. All these players have just fitted in really well. As well.
And Dan, the transfer window's not shut yet. I'm sure the gaffer's going to be looking at what's going to be needed, and I think a club like Birmingham, with the backing it's got at the moment, will look to strengthen, because I'll tell you what, if there's a chance for Birmingham to get it on the bounce and go into the Premier League, I think this is a really good season for them to do. Thank you very much, Dan. You're listening to the Sports Bar Weekend with TalkSport Bet. Download the app today. All the latest odds and offers, 18+, gamblerware.org. Get your calls into us right now. A feisty night at St Andrews as Birmingham hold Ipswich to a draw. It's played out in a very entertaining one, or draw, very feisty one, as we mentioned already. Also, we'd love to see Championship fans of the Championship. We'd like to hear from all of the clubs this weekend. What do you expect from your club this season? Of course, the likes of Leicester and Southampton back in the mixer this season. 03717 223344. And of course, it wouldn't be the weekend if we didn't have some form of music. Cole, do you like a bit of Ibiza?
Yes, I do.
We love a bit of Ibiza, so we're going to be talking all things Ibiza as well. 03717 223344. It is the Sports Bar Weekender here on TalkSport.
The Sports Bar with TalkSport Bet. Download the app or visit TalkSportBet.com to see all our latest sign-up offers. 18+, gamblerware.org.
This all-new Nissan Interstar van is a game-changer.
Yeah, you get a 5-year warranty, load capacity's impressive, everything fits without playing tall Tetris.
You're right. No more twisting myself into a human pretzel just to grab the drill.
And up to 37.7 miles per gallon from the diesel version. I can take the team to away games.
Yeah, and you get up to 285 miles from the 100% electric all-new Nissan Interstar E.
Sam's got that. Uses it to park without waking the kids. Search Nissan Interstar and visit your local Nissan van centre today. Warranty terms apply. 5 years or 100,000 miles, whichever comes first. Fuel consumption and EV range figures are for comparability purposes and may not reflect real driving results. Visit nissan.co.uk.
So, what are you watching at the moment?
Squid Game, Dad. Let's watch it together this weekend. That'd be nice. What's it on again?
Netflix. You've got EETV, so you just switch it on. What season are we up to?
4. That's Stranger Things, Mum.
And what about the kids?
Don't worry, they'll watch Cocomelon for the 100th time.
Switch on Netflix with EETV. Plus change up sports and entertainment. It's TV with the ultimate flex for the whole family.
EETV requires EE broadband. Separate 24-month contracts for TV and broadband. Content may vary. Terms apply.
At Betfred, we're proud to back British horse racing. The lightning speed, the thunder of hooves, the roar of the crowd. This fight season, Betfred are making history as the first bookmaker to sponsor all 5 British classics. Check out our range of horse racing markets, daily offers and price boosts in shops and online. Love racing? Betfred. Selected races only. T's and C's apply. 18+, gamblerware.org.
Take my money.
You, and you gather in the name of chicken, for thou shalt not eat alone. The KFC popcorn bucket, 60 pieces for $5.99. Get the deal. Believe in chicken. KFC. Until 31st of August, subject to availability. Participating restaurants only. Not available on delivery. See website for full T's and C's.
What makes match day? You know Meggy's Cafe's the vibe.
Mate, piking all day, every day.
Mark, the cabbie, bigger fan than we are.
Banging out some not the top 20 on the way to the game.
It's a great podcast.
All the expert pundits down a dog and duck.
Oh, Kebab Palace. He gets the chili garlic ratio spot on.
Match day is about more than just the game. It's an experience shared with local businesses at the heart of every EFL club and community. That's why we're proud to support the businesses behind the badge. Sage, official accounting software partner of the EFL.
Are you feeling more fulfilled now that you're back to work? On August 15th,
I need a vacation.
see the movie that critics are saying is impossible. Crowd-pleasing, fist-pumping, all-out brawl of a film.
You're right about that.
They're coming after our family. Go fix this.
Oh, my.
Nobody 2. Only in cinemas August 15.
The Sports Bar with TalkSport Bet. Download the app or visit talksportbet.com for all the latest odds and offers. 18 plus, gambleaware.org.
For strength, late night football fun. Great work!
The Sports Bar Weekender.
Get an all. Get an all. Get an all. Final boss. Get an all. 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 Final boss. Get an all. Get an all. Get an all. Get an all. Final boss. Get an all. I'm there with our final boss. Jack here. Get an all.
Wow. This is the Sports Bar Weekender, so we need a bit of vibes and energy. The IB for final boss. Have you seen him, Carlton?
Of course I have. I was retweeting him and reposted him when I heard about him on Tuesday.
Did you see when TalkSport turned Jamie O'Hara into the final boss?
Yes.
That was pretty good. If you haven't seen it, because you might not be sort of social media interacted, a young chap from Newcastle called Jack.
I had it down that he was from Manchester or Liverpool.
No, it was always going to be Newcastle.
Did you think?
Newcastle or Wales.
Oh, is it?
It was always Newcastle or Wales.
I thought it was going to be Manchester or Newcastle.
So yeah, just basically he has a very unique haircut, a bit of a bowl haircut, and he was in IB for living his best life.
But you know, there's a few of them. His whole crew, I think, has got it. But his one's bold.
So yeah, basically, he has gone so viral that yesterday he was on a private jet flying to Ibiza, courtesy of like Pasha.
Yeah,
it's crazy.
Yeah, I know, and I think he's done an airline advert.
This is the thing, ladies and gentlemen. You can go viral for anything nowadays, and like this, in the background, you've got your own record. So this record is by Carneo Beats, who I believe is a friend of both of us.
Yeah.
Carneo Beats, who's a fantastic house producer and DJ.
Yeah.
He has got out the gates quick on this, sampled him, turned it into a real tune, and now it's coming out.
You got something to do with that?
Shug Madge.
Shug Madge. You saw the talent, you thought, yeah, I'm getting involved in this. But listen, everyone wants a final boss of something, innit?
Well, we are the final boss.
And Jack K is the final boss of Ibiza.
So, seeing that we're speaking about Ibiza tonight, last week you missed a good one, Coley. We had a garage special, me and JP.
Yeah?
You would have loved it.
Yeah.
He doubted that you've got bars. I said, Coley's got bars. Believe me.
JP hasn't got a clue.
I said, trust me, Coley's got bars.
Yeah.
So, we're asking you, what is the Ibiza final boss anthem? What is the ultimate Ibiza anthem? Anyone springs to mind for you, like Insomnia by Faithless, Tiesto, Adagio for Strings? What would your be Ibiza?
Yeah, go give me some time to think on it.
I'll give you something, because I know you love your tunes.
Yeah.
03 717 22 344. You can send us a WhatsApp message. What is your ultimate Ibiza anthem? And we'll try and play it out of the break as well. A friend of mine, Jess Bays, who's a fantastic DJ producer, she's listening right now, and she said the final boss, the Ibiza final boss, was at her set in Ibiza. He was there. 03717 22 344 is the number to call us as we react to Birmingham drawing with Ipswich. Let's go to an Ipswich fan. Dan was at the game. He joins us on the Sports Bar Weekender. Good evening, Dan.
Dan, how are you, mate?
Not too bad, mate. You got away one there.
Yeah, you did get away with one there, didn't you? But listen, away from home, first game of the season, whether you get away with it or not, it's a point on the board.
Point on the board, mate.
Before the game, we took a point. So Bram were a bit like us, we tried to cut a year ago, and then went in, and the team I think will do very well this season. They've got in my top two as well with predictions, so
in terms of the expectations for you as an Ipswich fan this season, is it straight back up again, or is there any reservations, especially after watching tonight's performance?
It's got to be the ambition to go straight back up. I think look at last season though with Leeds, Burnley, a lot of teams start slowly, and we obviously got a point tonight, so that will not in the season that'll probably look good, but nothing to be concerned about, obviously. There's a lot of disruption in the squad as well, obviously a lot of speculation with players down and stuff like that. Mario Hutchinson and Nathan Gordon was on the bench tonight with the election and stuff as well, so get the January and the window shut in August, so hopefully it'll settle down again and we'll sort of start pushing a bit of momentum again.
Yeah, like, you see, as a fan, and listen, we know what happened last season, obviously, and you didn't get the wins, and you wasn't climbing up the table like you would like to do. But what do you think about going into this season, going to be the main scalps to beat and winning games on a regular basis again. How's that going to fare with you?
Massively, there'll be a lot of teams like what just want to beat us and want to try and stop us. And that's, like, so when we were in League One, that was the same thing with them. We were trying to get out of League One. We were stuck in there for like 5 years. The teams will come up against. Everyone wants to get a result against us. So hopefully. Yeah, it's a different because I remember
looking at a team one time, and then obviously they'd had a poor season in the Premier League and they'd gone down, and then the fans was calling in saying that how much they enjoyed the season they were going into because they were just winning games. But then you get teams, because you just come back down from the Premier League, you've got teams that just park the bus even. But do you think it's going to be more of an enjoyable season for you?
I very much hope so anyway. It'd be nice to see some home wins, hopefully. They won one game all last season, that was at home against Chelsea before Christmas. And it'd be nice to go to Portman Road, actually go home with actually 3 points.
I think the most fun at Portman Road last season was the boxing. It was, that was a good night. I was DJing, that was good fun. But yeah, I think you're absolutely right. Getting some home wins, you know, re-engaging the fan base, because they've got such a great fan base, Ipswich, you know, and it's rocking over Portman Road when they're winning. Thanks a lot. Brilliant stuff there. As we mentioned, it finished 1-1 at St Andrews between Birmingham and Ipswich. A very feisty affair. Let's go to Brogan, who's a Birmingham fan. He joins us. How are we, mate?
Hello, you okay?
Yeah, very well indeed. Listen, I'm sure you're a bit frustrated with, you know, giving away a penalty at the end, but
mate,
getting that point on the board against, you know, a previous Premier League team from last season, it's a half-decent start.
No, it's half decent start. Obviously, a draw against the likely winners of the league. But in all fairness, we should have won it. Yeah. The ref was an absolute joke. Yeah,
I wanted to speak to you about the ref. What was it about him that you didn't?
So I was at the ground. Obviously, unreal atmosphere. It just seemed the ref was giving everything to those guys. Obviously, they're coming down from the Premier League. It just seemed like he wanted them to win.
What do you think of your season going into the season this year? Because do you think you're gonna? Where you challenging? Are you gonna try? Are you happy with top 6, top 10? What are you?
We have top 3 or 4 from Dan, didn't we?
Well, so me personally, I believe we're going to finish 6th, but we will go up in the playoffs. We'll have a second coming at Wembley, and we'll actually win this.
Ooh, yeah. I like that. I can see that as well. Yeah.
Well, don't get me wrong, I'm not one of these big-headed blue noses. But
you said any blue noses are big-headed.
Listen, I'm not one of those guys, but I do feel like we are going to have a good season. It's going to be better than previous years. But 6th, I reckon 6th, but we will have a good crack at the playoffs.
What else do you need? What else do you need to come in? Yeah, to come in and secure that.
No disrespect to Ulsa, I love him, he's a blue nose, but I do think we need a strong goalkeeper.
Yeah.
But other than that, attack, midfield, defender, I think they've sussed it out, to be fair.
Yeah,
but in January, we'll see in January, do you know what I mean? Half the season we'll see how we're going, then in January we'll bring in a couple of players, whether that's injuries, like people that get injured, then we need to bring in people from them, or we'll just see how we're going. But
it's a long season in the Championship, isn't it?
You've got a good team.
It is a long season.
You look at your team, man. You got Gray, you got Stanfield, Anderson. So you're just thinking Allsop might be the weak link here.
I don't say he's a weak link. I won't want to call him a weak link, but I think if we get a strong goal kick, because we don't have a number one. We don't have a number one. They're all different numbers. I think if we get a strong keeper in, someone who can play out from the back, because I know obviously Chrissy Davis loves to play the possession-based ball. Someone who can get it out quick to the defenders. And let me just say while you're on the air, Newman, our new signing. Oh my God, you see how rapid he is.
Yeah.
Right.
He's not,
quick.
mate. Him and Clara, I actually called last season. I thought Clara was going to get sold to Tottenham or something. I think he's that good.
Yeah, those great points. Great shout. Thank you very much, Brogan, the Birmingham fan. You know, there's big expectations from the Birmingham fan base there. We've heard, 3rd or 4th. I think most Birmingham fans are expecting a playoff-placed finish. And is that unrealistic for Birmingham where they're at right now as a club with all the investment that's gone in? And as you already mentioned, a very strong squad.
No, it's definitely not. Look, they've got to have high expectations to what the money that's been pumped into the club now. They've got some good players, brilliant players, I should say, to get them out of that Championship. And it's just about how the boss... the final boss completes the transaction.
The final Championship boss.
Because that could be their final Championship boss.
Could be indeed.
They're in the Premier League, so they've got all the minerals to get up. I'd like to see Birmingham up. I'd like to see You know, the Villa Birmingham derby. That'll be really good. But listen, they've been through it, haven't they? They've been through it. They've scraped the bottom of the barrel. Now they're up, and you can see that the fans are enjoying it. You see the smile on some of the fans' faces.
I can hear from the energy, and it was rocking at St. Andrews.
Totally different atmosphere now, and I'm really happy for them, and hopefully they can go from strength to strength.
In some breaking news for you and the